folks. We are live. Guess what? We're back for another affiliate card, Prime Time 10 on the ESFL network. Ben Boiler, better known as Boiler, here with Frank, the Manhunter. How you doing there, sir?
Man, I'm fantastic, Boiler. I am fired up for another fantastic day of fights. It's been a while since I've been in the booth, so it's nice to be back. I can sit down, stretch my legs out a little bit, get comfortable, because we got a nice fight card coming your way today, guys.
It's deep in July. It's hot out there. We had a crazy set of fights last week, obviously, so you know what? It's time to cool out, get somewhere, get some shade, get something to drink. Let's get some sick fights here. We got 11, and we're going to hit them hard. We're going to have all action tonight. Frank, have you been able to look over the card and maybe pick a fight or two that you're looking at the most tonight?
I've been taking a look at a lot of fights on this card, and a lot of them are jumping out to me, but I am very curious to see how KIA Joshrae's game transfers to the bigger stage. Whenever he takes on ThatGuyJME. I've seen Joshraee in action. I've seen him fight for the belt a couple of times in the UFL, and this guy is very skilled, man. So I'm really looking to see if he brings those skills to the table against ThatGuyJME and how JME is going to be able to counter those skills and bring his own, high-level gameplay to the octagon. I'm looking forward to seeing who gets the W in that one. I'm also looking to see how KIA Shotokan, aka Carter Jiu-Jitsu, I'm looking to see some improvements that he might have made since switching camps. So, a lot of times that can be a huge boost for a guy's confidence as well as their skill set. So we'll see, what leaps and bounds he has made today. What about yourself, Boiler? Anything sticking out to you?
Well, switching camps can be huge, and that's the first thing that stood out to me when I looked at the scouting report today. Almost every competitor's in a camp. The camp scene has really grown and solidified, and we got a lot of momentum, not only at the ESFL, but the affiliate leagues. And we got some of these camps that, stretch across both or multiple organizations. So I'm stoked for that. And just in general, I did the card last week, the IXC affiliate card with Kingsley. So doing 2 in a row, I'm super stoked about. And the most fun part about these affiliate cards is the underdogs, or the more like the unknowns, okay? Mm-hmm. So, of course, people follow along with these leagues, but when they get on these big stages, it's not just a few dozen, 100 people. There's really, after the archives, more than 1,000 people watching this. So all of these new people being able to get that chance to get on the big stage, that's what I'm always looking forward to, man.
Yeah, always. This is a great opportunity for people to get themselves into the ESFL. Best way to do it is get yourself into one of these affiliate leagues and just fight your way up, make an impression. And hey, there are going to be scouts watching these fights. 2 fighters are going to be able to make their way onto an ESFL roster after this card concludes. We're going to take one from the PlayStation side and one from the Xbox side. And everybody knows what's on the table, so we're going to see who's able to come out there and just really put their best foot forward and go out there and get that victory and hopefully get that new spot on the ESFL roster. I, for one, can't wait to see who's really ready to go out there and just snatch that shot.
Definitely, and they're looking for skill. They want someone who wins, I would expect, but the scouts aren't just looking at who wins or if it's a blowout or not. Is your skill set translatable to the ESFL? Are you multidimensional? Are you able to really, under these bright lights, against the top competition in your affiliate league, are you able to step up and show that you're that next level, not just of skill, but entertainment? So, yeah, like you said, 2 folks will be chosen by our in-house scouts to get an ESFL roster spot. And the ESFL roster has been cut down a lot. So these roster spots are very valuable heading into Season 3 in mid-August. So this is really how we're going to get this thing primed up heading into the fall.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is a great way to really let the cream separate itself from the rest, see who's going to rise to the top whenever those bright lights, like you said, get the brightest, whenever there are cuts being made. The roster is getting smaller, so that just means the skill floor and the ceiling is just getting higher. And I, for one, can't wait to see what that holds in store for us going forward, as we get things going into the fall. Just to see what this ESFL landscape is looking like come like September or so, just to see how different it can all be by then. So
we're about at 1 year mark. So these people have been really grinding. So without further ado, how about we just stop talking, get some fights going? How about that?
Let's get to
Jimmy
it.
Slick and Stratex. I think I said that right. They're up first. Let's get them loaded and get that first fight. What do you say, buddy? Can you tell us about these 2?
Well, Jimmy Slick is looking to keep some momentum going. He is 1-0 right now with a clean first-round KO. He brings a very heavy pressure style to the octagon. And his opponent, Stratex, is 1-0 with an impressive knockout win as well. They show glimpses of very high potential, and they're looking to remain undefeated and move to 2-0 here today. And we're going to see who's able to get that done, who's able to keep that 0. And, man, like you said, let's cut the talk and let's go ahead and get to the business. Let's see what's going on, Boiler.
Let's do it. So I'm gonna have to put you on this spot here, Frank. I'm having some tech difficulties. I'm gonna have to reconnect or something. Take over while you can, and I'll try to be back as soon as I can, buddy.
No worries. So from what we're seeing, we've got Pettis taking on Volkanovski, and to be honest, I'm not sure if this is in the featherweight or the lightweight division right now. To be honest, we don't know how much that really matters. These guys are fighting. That's what matters. So things are getting started. They touch gloves in the middle, and we are ready to go. And Pettis already early throwing a lot of feints. Just you got to wonder if he's trying to get Volkanovski thinking about something. But a nice exchange in the pocket there. He's just trying to find that rhythm. But Volkanovski does a good job clinching there. But great takedown defense by Pettis to keep this thing upright. And he's right back throwing those feints. You got to wonder what strikes he's going to commit to, what he's really looking for to make happen there. But then Volkanovski sees a lot coming by. He just ducks for a second. Just waits on traffic to pass him. But these guys are exchanging in the pocket right now. It looks like Pettis is getting the better of these exchanges right now, but Volkanovski trying to fire back and find that rhythm, gets a good left hook there in the pocket.
All right, Frank, I'm back. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We're not game just in time for a big knockdown here. Wow. Oh, I think he's going to finish him with this ground and pound. Oh,
right. And that's crazy because already that's a major momentum shift. Pettis was really getting things going with the striking there. He was, I don't want to say freezing Volkanovski, but he was definitely giving him a lot to think about. And then Volk said, "Nah, man, let's slow this down a little bit. Let's take this to the ground. Let me just catch you one time."
Good work on that defensive ground and pound grappling. Is able to reverse it there though, but no, he was like one strike away, and you got Volkanovski on top of you, and you see that screen turning red and red and red, and you're getting beat down. That was like the first thing I said saw coming into here. So apparently, perfect Pettis though had been doing well until then, huh?
Yeah, he was. Like I said, and you'll see it here since they're back on the feet. He's doing a good job of mixing things up. He's throwing a lot of feints and making Volkanovski think and throw. And then whenever he does throw, he's doing a good job of getting those counter shots in to either, do a chunk of that stamina damage or get some damage done to that block. As we see, the block of Volkanovski is not looking good early, and that's not a good sign. 3 minutes gone here in the first round, Boiler.
No, some very patient work there by Perfect Pettis. I like that. He's using the block break combos, but not too much, but he caught a big shot there. He's got to back off. Yeah, now, with Pettis' length, you would think he's got to use that, right, against Volkanovski.
You would think, and those kicks of Pettis are so dangerous that I feel like you got to be throwing them out as often as possible. On top of that, the chin, not the greatest, especially whenever you got somebody who's got heavy hands like Volkanovski. That can put somebody like Pettis in trouble early. But if he can get these counter shots off, Boiler, then we got a fight on our hands.
Yes, I've seen both. I've seen it work out for both guys. Either if you're Volkanovski, you want to get him in those uppercut and hook range and throwing that like a madman. If you're Pettis, you want to be making that range, hit and run, make him miss and counter him. He made him miss and counter with a two-piece that stunned him. That's what you need to do if you're Pettis.
That was a great job there. He intercepted him with the jab and then caught the left hook whenever he was trying to catch the overhand. That was very well done by Pettis. Beautiful slip hook there, too. Oh, my goodness. Mixed him up. Goes to the body, so they had Volkanovski's down. And it looks like Pettis is trying to finish this fight now, Boiler.
That slip followed by the perfect three-strike combo. Man, I thought that was almost game over, to be honest. That could have finished them, to be honest. So, saved by the horn going into the second round. But that was some violence on both sides. Hard to say who won, I guess, since both got knocked down. I don't know if they're going to show the stats, but pretty crazy.
Yeah, an incredible first round. I think I would give that one to Pettis personally, but if you were to say you'd give it to Volkanovski, I mean, I could see the case being made for that. Like I said,
knockdowns on both ends, just pretty much carnage. So good stuff. Let's see if either of them adapt or they just keep kind of going with this relatively heavy offensive pressure styles. What do you think? If you are Pettis, you got to not get caught up in these exchanges up close, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking because that's going to happen, right?
Exactly.
If you're Pettis, you don't have the head health fully, and you definitely don't have it now to just stand in the pocket and trade with this guy, man. You need to be throwing kicks, keeping him at range, not getting hit with those. just trying to use your sidekicks and your teeps to just get that space so you can just keep peppering him. And like you said, hit and run, hit and run. That's what Pettis needs to be doing right now. If you're Volkanovski, just keep walking forward and don't let him get far away from you at all.
Exactly. And Volkanovski, his block is down. And just as we saw that, there's a block break and he's out. He's done. Listen, commentary curse like usual. We were telling Pettis, back off, be slick. He's like, no, I don't need to do that, guys. That was some good work to finish him there.
Excellent. Yeah, why would you need to back up when you can just step forward and knock him out, right?
That's why we're just commentary. We're not top-level players, I suppose. We're too conservative. No. I don't know. Good work, though, by both men. Absolutely.
A wonderful fight to start this card off for sure. I mean, both of those people brought it from pillar to post, start to finish. Those are the fights that we love to see, right, Boiler? Like, those are the ones competitive all the way through. High levels of striking savvy and fight IQ being shown on both sides. That's just what you love to see.
Exactly. When you're doing commentary, nothing's better than the action just going so quickly you can't even describe it. But that means it's an exciting and fun fight. And that one, we were just trying to catch up and catch on because they were both coming at it. So good stuff, good stuff. We're going to head into the second fight, but a quick reminder, the second round of the ESFL, powered by ESFL, but on the official UFC Twitch stream, Summer Series tomorrow, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. What is that? 11 a.m. Pacific. There we go. So, excuse me. I did. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern. I don't want to get it wrong. 1 p.m. Central. Summer Series, second round. Next Sunday will be the redemption. And on August 1st, I believe, check my work, maybe July 31st, but it's 2 Sundays from tomorrow. It's going to be the grand finale. Several $1,000s on the line, the best of the best of the best competing. So unbelievable. I love watching that on Sundays and help it out in the back. So consider this an appetizer for tomorrow as well. So looking forward to that. All right, let's go on to the second fight. AJ Guy versus competitor. What do you know about these guys, Frank?
Well, AJ Guy is a long-term fighter. He's very experienced and well-versed. Wherever the fight takes place, this guy is skilled. So keep an eye on AJ Guy. And competitor's been working a long time on his game, and as of recently, he's been showing many glimpses of class. He's improved massively in a short space of time. And you got to wonder if joining up with the Flow State Kings has something to do with that. You got to wonder how big of a part that plays, because like we had mentioned earlier off top, when you join a camp and you get around those like-minded individuals who can show you the tips and the tricks that they've picked up along the way, it just bodes well for you as a competitor.
Yeah, Flow State Kings. That's one of those camps that's really catching some attention. I like the name as well. Look like competitor is up 2-1 in their long-term match tracking. So let's see if that has anything to do, but I'm sure it's going to be a good, close matchup. We got the mirror match with Leon Edwards. Now, when there's a mirror match, is there anything, you should really be trying to look for, you think, Frank? You got 2 southpaws here as well. How can you take that to your advantage?
Whenever I'm in a mirror match, I try to find, this is whenever I just hone in on what I do well. Like, if I'm a really good grappler, I'm just going to try and take it to the ground immediately. I know what your stats are, and I just got to try to find the areas that I'm better in those situations, and you just got to try everything whenever you get in those mirror matches, because, like I said, the numbers are going to be the same. It's just all a matter of what you do well and how you can implement that.
Exactly. And on one hand, it's a competitor's dream to have even stats, but I also know folks don't necessarily like mirror matches. But so far what I'm seeing here is a slugfest, is a lot of fun. I feel like AJ Guy's getting the better on a lot of these exchanges, though. And if you look at competitor's head health, it is down just a tiny bit, and he's on his back foot for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good move there by AJ Guy to get this into the clinch, just give it another dimension somewhere else where you can get a little bit of control time and just kind of, put your stamp on the fight a little bit. But competitors fighting back and landing some good combinations and getting some good damage done both to the head and the body right now, boy.
Saw some slick combos in there by AJ Guy where 2 or 3 would land, but he's also throwing, 1 or 2 strikes at a time, not necessarily unloading with 4 or 5 strike combos. So being judicious and accurate, like right there, hits a couple and backs off. No need to overcommit. So AJ Guy looks like he's pretty. Just to say that, gets knocked out his butt. How did that happen, Frank?
Commentator curse at work, boy. I was actually just about to say that. Yeah, AJ Guy was looking solid there on the feet. I like you said, he's doing a good job mixing up combos. He'll throw 2, throw 2, stop, throw 3. You know, it's just a lot to think about in there if you're a competitor. We'll see if he's able to get a read on that. He had a moment of success there when he was able to get that knockdown, but now he's got AJ Guy back on top of him. And he's got to find a way to get back to the feet quickly, Boiler. That block and that head up are dropping down drastically, but a good reversal there. Now he's on top.
The head help is ticking down a little too fast, I think. A little too much for comfort, I think, for competitor. It just was chipped away at by AJ Guy. So at this point, you got to assume. I mean, actually, this is a tough one. Who do you think's winning at this point with about a minute left? We got a knockdown, but I thought AJ Guy was doing quite well before that. What do you think?
I also think AJ Guy was doing very well before that, but I also, well, I'm not going to say no, but I have a sneaking suspicion that in this game sometimes, though, the judges see a knockdown and they just kind of turn their eyes off for the rest of the round. So he might have gotten that knockdown, and that might be all that they need to see. We'll see if AJ Guy can even that up here in the last 15 seconds.
Yep. Big shot. That could be a tiebreaker potentially.
It definitely could. It could be definitely something the judges saw, if nothing else. I mean, that was a nice rock there at the end. And that's gonna be something that gives you confidence going forward if you're AJ Guy. Sorry, I lost English there for a second.
I know how that works. Don't worry. Let's hope I do okay tonight. I think in the end, competitor took a little bit more damage, but the knockdown plus that health event kind of stun. Man, that's a coin flip. It's going to be hard to say. We're not going to see the stats per se. But that's one of those where it's got to be a coin flip, in my opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion. If we were watching this in real life, I'd say that is a coin flip. And I was going to say, it looks like competitors kind of had to take a second to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, maybe his controller died. Had to get a new battery. Took the big shot on the chin and a big hook. Oh, nice stuff.
Who do you think's getting out to a lead here early in the second round, boy?
Oh my God! He is out. Beautiful knee against the cage. Pin him against the cage. Put that knee to the head. That is beautiful work. Beautiful work by Leon Edwards. AJ Guy, you know, he was looking really strong throughout the fight. Maybe made a mistake or two, but once he got him hurt, he's like, you know what? I'm pressing. I'm throwing that knee, and it connected big time, man.
It almost seemed like he was offended that fight went to the second round, right? Like he started round 2 and just came out heavy, like he was on fire, and just was able to get those immediate health events, got him up against the cage, finished him with that beautiful clinch knee that sent his head to Mars. That was a treat to watch. Thank you, AJ Guy. And,
that was beautiful. That's, there's people say things about the clinch. I won't go too deep into it, but in my opinion, being able to pressure him, push him up against the cage, land a knee like that for a finish when you already got him hurt. That's beautiful. That's what you really would do in a mixed martial arts fight. Exactly. If you're Leon Edwards, and he just pulled it off perfectly. And it happened in game. So I like to see. Let's move on. Third fight. We got camp mates out of the LW camp. We got Storm versus Reaper. What do you know, Mr. Frank?
That's right. Both these guys, as you said, coming out of the Lethal Weapons camp. Storm is 3-3 right now. He's got 2 submission victories and a knockout. It'll be interesting to see if he can get this fight to the ground and, work submissions against his campmate, who's probably going to know what he's going to want to do. And his campmate is a very well-rounded player, also 3-3. All of his wins, however, have been by knockout. So maybe that might be, where he's most comfortable is on the feet, or that's might be where he likes to finish fights. Either way, this is looking like it's going to be even. It looks like, 2 guys who know the other pretty well, know what they're going to want to try and do. So we're going to see if they're able to, who's able to get their game plan going today, Boiler.
All right, let's make it happen, Captain. Let's see who they select. That lightweight Poirier. See if he counter picks or sticks with Poirier. Ooh, Poirier and RDA. Now that's a fun little matchup. If you're RDA, what is your game plan, you think, to take down Poirier?
Stay away from the pocket. Your chin health is only 90. Don't do it to yourself. Listen to me, Boiler. If RDA stands in the pocket, he's going to sleep, especially in this game. I mean, I got nothing but respect for RDA in real life, but in this game, that chin is made of glass. So, if you don't move, it's your backside. So get out of there, man. Just use the kicks and try to take this down whenever he thinks you're going to stand and trade with him.
Good point. Try to use a little bit more finesse, and maybe you think mix up some of the grappling and takedowns. Even if it's just open up the striking, you try to mix it up with some grappling, right?
Exactly. I mean,
nice.
You got to give him a lot to think about.
Exactly. That's so big in MMA, in real life, and in this game. You can't just box, can't just throw kicks, can't just go for takedowns. You really got to mix it up. It's a true mixed martial arts. It's good stuff. So both guys throwing decent volume, no massive haymakers or something too risky, but they're both bringing some volume here. What are you seeing so far, Frank?
Yeah, both guys doing a good job mixing it up. I'm liking the way Reaper's going to the body a little bit more, but he is pulling a little bit too much for my liking, and I feel like he might get countered if he's not careful with that. RDA is doing a good job of not taking too much head health, especially there in the pocket, like I mentioned off top, just because, I mean, he knows what he's dealing with. He knows that if he gets sneezed on, he might be going down. So he's trying to make sure he does a good job of sticking and moving. And thus far, I was going to say I was liking what I was seeing, but then Reaper started turning it on, got a good time leg kick to push him out of the takedown animation. So some good striking right now from Reaper with the Dustin Poirier pick, Boiler.
Yeah, Reaper had a couple great shots to the body, mainly kicks. I'd like to see if he can get that rear hook to the liver fired off here or there, but that's one of the best parts about being a southpaw, is being able to use those power strikes and that power kick to the body. But he's getting muscled up against the cage a little bit here. Oh, nice reversal. Nice reversal.
Well, it was what RDA needed to do, in my opinion. You know, you gotta implement that grappling early and often, because I feel like if you do have an advantage, that's where it's gonna be. Dustin's got super quick hands, and they've got some power behind him. I don't think that, you know, standing in the pocket and boxing with him is going to be a good move for much of anybody outside of, you know, your Conor McGregors and your, you know, Conor McGregors and your Max Holloways if you're fighting at 45. But
there you go.
You know, it's a very dangerous game to stand there and box with Dustin Poirier. So I would like to see RDA attempt more takedowns. That said, Reaper's doing a great job of either jabbing or leg kicking at the perfect time to knock him out of those takedown animations.
Exactly. I think his first takedown attempt, he got leg kicked and totally got thrown out of his attempt. He's gotten stuffed once or twice. Doesn't mean he should give up on it, but that is rough going. And he's taking big shots to the body. Look how low that health is. It's like almost halfway gone already, and that stamina is following quickly.
I was just about to say, you work the body, that stamina's coming home with it. I mean, and we're seeing those dividends starting to be paid off already here. About 30 seconds left in the first round. And we can see Reaper's doing a lot of damage, and he's spreading it out. I love the way he is mixing it up right now, Boiler. He's damaging the head. He'll go to the body in these combinations. He'll wait on RDA to back up and then throw those body kicks. But again, I feel like he's going to get himself into danger pulling whenever there's no shot coming. He's going to take a straight, and it might get bad. But we'll see what happens in the second round. I got to give that first one to Reaper thus far, Boiler. What about yourself?
Definitely did a great job of almost every single combination coming out on top, landing some great body work and really frustrating his opponents with some of those leg kicks. I mean, those leg kicks landed, didn't do like a ton of damage, but they were enough to throw him out of his animation and do enough to really frustrate you. And look at that body health; it's like halfway gone for real for Storm.
Look at the stamina advantage. I mean, as soon as the round started, you can clearly see the difference, and that's only going to help Poirier as this fight goes forward. A beautiful late denial there to stop that takedown.
That was so close.
It was. I was about to say, it looked like a great shot by RDA. It looked like it was timed well. It looked like he was going to be able to pull it off, but Reaper was, extremely savvy, aware, and ready for that. And, as you saw, was able to get that takedown defended. Now he's looking to get his own offense going here on the feet again, boy.
Yeah, I felt like I was only a few frames away from landing. His stamina was all the way gassed, but he was able to flip right out of that. Those sprawls are one of the coolest things. Oh, beautiful work to the body, man. He is in big trouble. His head's hurt bad, too.
Good head movement there from Storm to keep this thing going just a little bit longer, and he's able to get that takedown, boy.
Ankle pick to save his life. Beautiful.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the turning point in this fight for him, see if that's where things start to go well, but Poirier does a good job to get back up, and now he's got RDA up against the cage, and this is just not great for Mr. Beltranjo.
That's tough. You got to try to sit on that denial for the stand-up, but that thing is so quick in UFC 4, and the stamina's off, so Poirier, a.k.a. Reaper, back on his feet doing some work again.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of good work from this position right now, Boiler. I mean, just seems like every time they're on the feet, he's able to, like you said, get his combinations going. They're landing, they're coming out on top, and he's able to get good damage done and keep himself out of too much danger on the return from RDA. So,
Yep. Have you noticed, and I really haven't seen any holes per se in the good work by Reaper. I was about to say, have you seen any holes that could be exploited by Reaper, but he's done so much damage, it might be too late. I mean, don't give up for Storm, but he's hurt really bad.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't, but I'm also not that great at reading on the fly. But geez, yeah, he's not giving much to read, you know, even whenever. That's what I was about to say. He's been throwing a lot of hooks. That's the one thing I have kind of picked up. And then as I'm about to say it, he catches him with a double uppercut combo. And now he's throwing body kicks. Like everything, he's mixing everything up so well, Boiler. I don't know how you're supposed to fight that.
Flow state. This is called flow state right here. He's just feeling it. I mean, obviously he's hurt so bad that he finishes with a nasty hook to the body. But
and then he bowed him out.
Wow. Cumulative damage and some big shots. Gives him respect, though. You got to remember, they're in the same camp. So, all in love, right? All for love.
I mean, ostensibly, you got to wonder what Storm said behind the sines after a fight like that. But
that's true. That was pretty rough, man. That was. Hey, when they get
he kept fighting, you know. I mean,
they're in the octagon. I mean, you know, your friends, your campmates, but you got to go for that kill shot, and you know that was great work, to be honest, there by by Reaper. So good stuff, guys.
Yeah,
both of you.
Fantastic from both of them. But I mean, Reaper's looking like he's going to be a problem going forward, and I for one can't wait to see his next fight and how that's going to play out. So.
He's really improved because his record 3-3. He looked way better than a 3-3 fighter. So Reaper been putting in that work with LW. He's going to keep it up, I'm sure. So let's move on to the fourth fight. What do you say?
Let's do it. This fourth fight is going to be BSD T Drivers versus TMF Kobe. BSD is actually part of a new camp, the Body Snatchers Degree, as they are called. They're new on the scene. They're looking to make a big impact, and they're recently coming off Drivers is coming off an impressive win against Fadinator, who's an ESFL competitor and no slouch himself. Kobe, on the other hand, has great stand-up. He's emerging as a high-level competitor. He's been putting a lot of work into his game, beating a lot of top guys in OWC. But we've seen there's a difference between online world championships and whenever you're under the ESFL bright lights, man. You know, there's number one, there's a lot of techniques that you can't do as much in our circuit because they have been banned for being super advantageous at one point in time. A lot of those are under review, you know, with recent patches and everything, and we got to kind of figure out and tweak the rules on those. But as of now, everything is still, you know, all bans stand where we're at right now. So we're going to see how he's able to, you know, translate that success into this fight under, you know, these sanctioned rules here today, Boiler.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drivers. I'm going to call them drivers. T Drivers versus TMF Kobe. Let's see who they pick. They're featherweight. McGregor and Holloway. Now we know this one's going to be a banger for sure, Frank.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are going to be throwing hands.
It's be hard to last. I mean, both guys are tough, but both guys have so much volume. I mean, I don't think we're going to be going to decision, but I'm a curse. We're going to have a boring decision. No, I don't think so. All right, so drivers with McGregor, Kobe with Holloway at 145 pounds. He's also, I don't know if you saw his little profile picture. He's got Hasbullah, that very famous guy from like the Russian region or whatnot. He was on his profile picture. Pretty funny. It was great. I wonder if anyone else saw that. All right, take us through this. I mean, actually, Frank, do you use Connor? Do you use Holloway? I mean, we kind of already know what their role in the meta is, but what if you were either of them, what would be your game plan right now?
I don't use either, but I fight against both a lot, and my game plan, generally speaking, against both of these guys, I work the body early, man. Specifically against Max, and it's for two different reasons. Connor doesn't have much of a gas tank, so you know any early advantage I can get out to is always fantastic. Max has a humongous gas tank, so you got to hit him in the body to kind of wear that down. Plus, Max's chin is made of vibranium. You can hit it all day, and it's just not going to go anywhere. So you got to hit him in the vulnerable areas, the midsection and the legs, where he still, you know, at least resembles a human. So those are generally my game plans. I also like to grapple these guys early because neither one is that great off of their back. But, you know, whenever you're using Connor or Max, you're not going to have the best offensive grappling either. So it's really just a matter of, you know, how these guys choose to go about it. If you ask me, work the body and the legs. What about you, Boiler? Do you use these guys? What's your strategy?
I'm in the exact same boat as you. I don't use either of these guys. I've faced each of them a million bajillion times, and they are very difficult to fight against. My number one tip against Connor is don't get in the pocket in exchange. Even if you feel like you're going to land 2 or 3, if he lands 1, sometimes it can be enough to stun you. So you got to be very careful slugging it out with Connor, especially at 145. Against Max, I think try to keep your distance and work the body is a good idea. And just, you know, if he's massive pressure, maybe you can catch him with some good head movement. But Max is almost a harder puzzle to solve than Connor, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, usually when I see Max at that character select screen, I just kind of start praying right then and there, to varying success. So, you know, I just kind of start hoping that the other guy is not very good.
There you go.
You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's the thing about these two guys, right? Whenever you're facing somebody with the high skill level who's using them, you're in for a long day.
Yep.
That's
it.
Yeah.
Not easy for either, but big shots, exactly. Big shots. Drivers gets up quick, but he's got to be a little worried about getting knocked down that quickly. He probably wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, that's definitely not what he's going to want to see going forward, unless he can keep doing that. I mean, this is why these guys are so dangerous, right? One combination literally changes the entire complexion of the fight. You know, Drivers was down, and then now, you know, 3 punches later, we're back even, and it's just an even playing floor again.
It is. Now they're flipped on the screen, so don't get it twisted. Kobe on the left, Drivers on the right. Looks like Kobe's a little bit behind on the power curve, on the stamina curve. And Drivers was targeting the body a little bit earlier. Let's see if he keeps that into the second round. Pretty even, though. I mean, a knockdown on each side. I don't know the numbers. We're
going to get a look here. Wow.
Almost perfectly even. Wow.
Yeah, right. Max got 3 more significant, but I mean, that's as close as they get, Boiler. Who's scoring this? What are you thinking? What's happening?
Definitely not me. I will not take responsibility for having to pick a winner on that one.
No, definitely not.
A lot easier in the commentary booth.
Yeah, we just sit back and go, wow, that was awesome. We don't have to be like, who won that? Oh.
For real. All right, let's see if either of these big shots, I was about to say if either of them will, no, wow.
Beautiful slip again.
Second time, exactly. I was wondering if he's going to stand up there, but he's going to try to work some ground game, and I would do that if I was Kobe, potentially. If he got dominant position on Connor, worth trying to grind him out, maybe.
It's definitely worth the points on the scorecards, right? Because every second that you're down there on top of Connor is just that's time he can't be punching you. So that's always a net positive in my opinion. But now they're back on the feet, and we're going to see who's able to get that separation, you know, with the striking.
Yeah, this is such a chess match. I mean, a very, very violent chess match, but I feel like they're trying to learn each other as quickly as possible. Wow! Big spinning kick to the head, and he climbs him up nicely with that hook there. I can't believe he got up that quick, though.
I gotta be honest. I think if Kobe was maybe a step back whenever that wheel kick hit him, he might be going to sleep. Just because that didn't seem like it was at the proper range, and it still did massive damage. So Kobe's got to be super careful of those. Or not, you know, just keep firing off offense. But sometimes that leaves you a little bit open on the defensive end. Yeah, Boiler?
Oh, just a little bit. That was
hurt.
Oh, go for the bow. Okay, some respect. Beautiful work there by Drivers using the feet of McGregor. You got to use those. I mean, it won't break in this game, so throw as many kicks as you can. They're sometimes underutilized. Obviously, he's got great hands, but I feel like he's got great... Oh, big shot to the body.
Yeah. And I feel like that might be a symptom of, you know, Connor in real life falling a little bit too in love with his hands as well, you know? Like, the later stages of his career, he doesn't throw as many kicks either, and you got to wonder if, you know, that kind of like... Just kick more, man. You're so good at it.
Definitely big shots. Man. I don't think he's going to survive this. His head held so bad. Wow.
The thing I loved about that ground and pound flurry there, Boiler, is just the Drivers is on top. Like, you know what? Nobody ever expects 6 left hooks in a row. Just keep throwing them. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Literally, I was going to say the same thing. And Drivers is also both times when he had his back taken was off of a slip when he threw a straight. So he's like, oh, yeah, you're going to slip this hand over and over.
Goodness.
Big shot.
That's got to be it, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Whew. I was going to say, like, where do you let that fight keep going?
We need some TKOs here. No, he did finish him. Great work by Drivers and really great work by both men. Very violent with some different techniques. A lot of fun. And Drivers, though, comes out big, finish in the second round. after a very close first round. What did you think separated him there in that second round? Do you think it was a little bit of the luck, or did he change his game plan a bit? Because he started to really turn it around.
I'm gonna call it luck because I don't want to denigrate anything these fighters are doing, but it just kind of looked like his game plan. You know, he just kept etching away at it, and eventually he was able to break through first. Right? It seemed like both guys had their plans. They're just gonna kind of try and tap away, and McGregor just was able to tap a little bit faster, a little bit more on target, and was able to tap his chin until he went to sleep. So,
well, I mean, it's literally just a few frames between one person getting lights out compared to the other. So, hey, if you adjust just a little bit, and let's say you put that money in the bank with a little work to the body or a little bit more patient striking into the second, even third round, you know, that a few frames difference can tilt in your favor, and that can make all the difference. That's what kind of seemed to happen in that second round there.
Definitely. And it's,
all right.
It's all of, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, we're going on to the next fight, but did you have any other thoughts on that one?
It's just a matter of when you throw, not what you throw. That's all I was going to say.
Exactly. Timing is almost everything, right? Timing and accuracy. Huge. Mm-hmm. Great work, both fighters, especially drivers. Big stuff. That moves him up to 5-1. And he also, remember, beat Fadinator, ESFL vet. So 5-1. Pretty dominant, nice performance, but great work by Kobe. See if the scouts take a look at either of them. Looking into the ESFL. Let's move on, though, to the fifth fight. What do you say? What you got to say about Machine Gun and Shotokan? Have at it, Frank.
I actually believe there was a bit of a mix-up. This looks like we're looking at High Roller versus Atakan. But it's all good. High Roller and Atakan are 2-0. They're both currently 2-0 in prime time. High Roller has 2 knockout finishes. He's very dangerous on the feet, and if you don't know anything about him, you're going to after tonight, says the scouting report. And then we've got Atakan, also 2-0 with 2 knockout victories. And he's another dangerous striker looking to make a name for himself. High Roller is coming out of that Lethal Weapons camp that we saw earlier tonight, and he's looking to keep good things going. It's the same camp that we had Storm and Reaper out of, so we'll see if he's able to keep that momentum that Reaper brought earlier going in the right direction. And you know, just
some real work. All right, guys, we are actually going to go to a quick intermission because we did slightly get out of order, but we're going to get everything squared away in the back. Be back in just a second. Stick with us. Go get a drink. Go to the restroom because we're going to have only action on when we get back here. All right, guys? We'll be right back. back, folks. More action, more virtual violence. ESFL affiliate card. Primetime 10. Let's keep on rolling. We got a matchup between Ea Shotokan, a.k.a. Carter, and as well as LW Machine Gun. Frank, tell us about these competitors.
Yes, sir. Like you said, Shotokan, aka Carter Jiu-Jitsu. You've probably seen him around if you've been watching any kind of UFC for esports in any capacity. I mean, this guy's everywhere. He's been hanging around the ESFL scene for a while, sparring with some of the best competition.
Yep.
He's got a very dangerous ground game. I mean, he prides himself on his wrestling, and for good reason. The kid's good at it, you know, but he's no slouch on the feet either. He's going to be taking on a very dangerous opponent in Machine Gun, who's a veteran of the EA Sports UFC titles as well. He's a true showman, and he's always going to push the action. He's trying to land clean combos to find the finish, and a lot of times he resorts to playing mind games with his opponents. You know, he's not above throwing taunts out whenever he's up.
Okay.
And, you know, that can have varying results. You know, sometimes it'll really mess with the other guy. Sometimes you get hit in the middle of the taunt and get knocked out. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but high risk, high reward always brings the action, and I, for one, can't wait to see it go down, Boiler.
For sure. I'm the one that never ever taunts, because as soon as I do, I get knocked silly. So I'm like a nice guy. I'm like, you know, a Wonder Boy or something compared to that. But I love when people, especially they don't touch gloves, I get a fire under my belly. Sometimes it's in my advantage. Sometimes I fight a little crazy. So those mental games are huge, man. They're definitely big.
Definitely. I almost never taunt. Sometimes, you know, that toxic Frank will come out and I get on some nonsense every now and then, but those times are few and far between. You know, it's only whenever I can really get fired up. But
toxic Frank. Don't worry, Boiler gets a little toxic sometimes too. I just try to pretend I'm a nice guy all the time.
That's a problem. I got to keep in a box. Like I try to
this game, man, it gets you so riled up for win or to lose. All right, let's go ahead, move on. It looks like they might be in bantamweight. I see that they fought each other 7 times. Carter's taken 4-3, so pretty darn even. I missed who they picked, actually. Did you see who they got there, Frank?
It looked like Garbrandt and Dillashaw. Okay, yeah, I'm correct. Garbrandt and Dillashaw.
All right, big rivalry here then. You know, the classic matchup, Garbrandt and Dillashaw. Who would you rather, you know, have on? Who would you rather select? Who are you better with? Who do you think has the advantage?
I'd rather select / I am better with TJ because, I mean, wrestling. You know, like definitely. If it gets too bad on the feet, which going against Garbrandt, it probably will. Specifically me. Like, it's going to go badly on the feet at one point in time, so I just try and get it to the ground and drain a lot of that stamina out so he can't do as much damage on the feet.
Yeah, Dillashaw's definitely got that plan B, plan C. Big shot, but Garbrandt's got plan A, that right hand. That's all he needs sometimes. Oh, big shot. But Carter gets up quickly. Gotta wonder if he wants to. I mean, he's coming forward still. That did not shock him by any means. I don't think he's going to adjust too much off of that from what I'm seeing. But goes for the takedown attempt and gets stuffed. A couple shots for his efforts there. Frank, what are you seeing?
That was a good takedown defense by Machine Gun right there. It seems like he is at least cognizant of the takedown threat, but got caught with a nice pull counter there. He's going to have to be careful of those going forward. And, you know, Carter's doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. That's another rock that he's gotten. I'm honestly a little surprised he didn't shoot for the takedown there, but going forward, that's going to be something to keep an eye on. But he's getting caught on these counters as well here, Boiler. These guys are swinging early.
I think you made a great point. When he gets some rock, he should go for the takedown. Nice takedown here. But you're right. You get him hurt. If you can't finish him or knock him down, go for that takedown for Dillashaw, I think, because Garbrandt's just too heavy-handed. But great turning takedown there, scored for for Carter.
Mm-hmm. Not only is Garbrandt too heavy-handed, but that stamina is not. I mean, he doesn't have one of those super deep gas tanks like a Piotr Jan or a Dominic Cruz in this division. It's fine to just stay on top of him and drag some of the wind out of the sails. Even if you lay and pray for a round, man, like that's a round that he can't knock you out, So, but then again, that's probably why we're sitting up here in the booth. Like, it's a little bit too risk averse sometimes.
There you go. Exactly. Right. There's times to be defensive, but offense is really your best defense a lot of the times, especially in this game, in this meta. But you got to be smart about it, especially going against someone like Garbrandt who can put you down with one big shot. We're already seeing a little bit of a stamina drop out of Carter. Obviously, Dillashaw will recover a great amount of that. I won't mention anything about EPO, but he'll get that stamina back eventually. But, you know, Machine Gun might be able to exploit that if he can dig to the liver a little bit, maybe.
It looked like he was attempting to do so there, but was just out of range, and then Carter makes him pay with a nice little combination there. Does a good job getting that slip off, too. But goodness gracious, that's how you dig the liver, and that's what we were talking about earlier. He'll get you hurt, and then he'll just start messing with your head. Now,
that was big time right there, man. He landed big shots, big taunt, came right out, perfect flow state on the taunt as well.
He was ready for that one, boy.
Yeah, now Carter, did that piss him off? Did that make him a little bit too crazy? Is that, maybe he's gonna fall into that trap? I don't know.
We shall see.
I think so, man. I think wow. I think Carter got a little on tilt. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, wouldn't you?
yes, absolutely, I would. Perfect timing, man. Look at that.
Beautiful timing, man. That right hand just came over the top, and it was, you couldn't time that one better. You really couldn't.
Definitely
that was gorgeous.
That was really, really nice, man. These high-level fighters make this game look so much better when you get the top of the top in these leagues, man. Absolutely. Such fun to watch and beautiful timing. Nothing gimmicky about that one. So if you're Carter, what are you going to do? I mean, he scored a takedown. Should he re-implement that? I mean, his stamina's a little lower, and he's gotten hurt bad already. I think he needs to change it up bad.
Yeah, he definitely should try and get this fight to the ground as soon as possible. I feel like that would behoove him, because right now he's just getting outstruck, plain and simple, right, Boiler? Like, Garbrandt is in a great flow, like you said, on the feet. Machine Gun is just firing off these combos at will. He's timing them very well. That said, he did just eat a nice head kick, but as we saw there, he had the timing on that pull counter. He just didn't throw the uppercut behind it or the elbow, whichever he would opt to do there. But it seems like Machine Gun's got him figured out on the feet. So if I'm Carter, I'm trying to get this thing to the ground ASAP Rocky. What about you, brother?
I think you're going to have to, just because the stamina is so off now. You're just going to be just that much behind. I mean, he's landed a couple good shots to the head, a couple good kicks has Carter, but it's just going downhill quick. Big shot, and he's down again, man.
Oh, and you gotta wonder, is he trying to just make him full tilt? Body uppercut after the pull. That was timed beautifully by Machine Gun, man. Tried to catch him off guard with the cartwheel kick, but Carter wasn't having that one.
No, that would have been insult to injury. So Carter's very glad he stopped that one, I'm sure. But he's still coming forward. He's still coming forward, and he's caught Garbrandt a little bit. A nice shot.
Oh, now hang on, Boiler.
Gets back up, wow, man, he's hurt bad. This fight is definitely not over, man.
No, he's definitely putting a good stamp on round 2 right now. I mean, he's trying to. Oh my goodness, that knee to the head was huge. We already saw a fight end like that once today, Boiler. Carter's trying to find that groove right now, and he's hoping that the groove can lead him to a victory here in the second round. He's doing a good job of getting some damage off on that block, and he's landing some good shots to the head, but he's got to find a way to land it in sequence so he can get a big combination that will put Machine Gun down and keep him there, right?
Yeah, I think he's got to lay a trap. We could try to get some.
Good.
Yeah, this could be the other option. Either lay a trap or put him down. Now the problem is that stamina is so low. Is he gonna be able to deny this? It comes down to skill, but I mean that stamina does make a difference. Great job getting in full mount.
And see, there we saw. I feel like that was a good example of having the skill, but the stamina just not being there.
Yeah, just every frame makes a difference.
Now, don't look now, Boiler, but the head health of Machine Gun is starting to show some of that damage.
It really is, and all respect to Carter for adjusting, still being aggressive, but I felt like he's being smarter with his attacks, but he almost fell behind a little too much in that first round, took too much damage. Ow, that could be it, man.
Well, it won't be, because he's going to stand and taunt.
Okay, yeah, right? Good point. That's risky.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Risky business, man. That is not a good idea.
Oh,
man,
yes, I do. Oh, my God.
That is, oh, man. That is why I don't taunt. But hey, man, you live by the sword, die by the sword. That was amazing. That was one hell of a knockout. And stick it in there, man. He didn't give up.
I feel like that's almost twisting the blade, right? Like you catch him going for. Wow, that was that. Like you said, that's why I don't taunt, man. Because I feel like every time I do, that happens. And That's unfortunate, Machine Gun. I'm not trying to laugh at your misfortune, but damn, man, that was that's
Hey
tough.
man, you were looking so good, Machine Gun. You were putting those taunts in there perfectly, but very playing
That's
with fire,
tough. That's
man.
all I can say about that, bro.
Very entertaining, though. So both of you guys, great fight, very entertaining, great matchup. A good old Dillashaw Garbrandt. So a lot of fun there, Frank. That was a ton of fun.
For sure, definitely, man. That was a great fight. I'm glad that we were able to witness that. That was fantastic.
Knockout of the night, it gotta be.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. But we'll discuss all that later on. How about for now we go into the next fight, Boiler? Last thing I gotta say about that one, man. That's gotta be knockout of the night. Like, I mean, all right.
Now we still got a few more fights, but I mean, it's gonna be tough to top that. All right, looking like LFC Zombs versus KM Adjust. What you got on the scouting report for us there, sir?
All right. I'm just gonna I think that's supposed to be Zombies. I don't know. I can
Zombies. That makes sense.
Zombs.
Zombies makes more sense.
Zombies is coming into this 4-2. He's got 3 impressive knockout wins and 1 very dominant decision. And he's got a lot of experience in online world championships. Believes it will help him get the win tonight. He's fighting out of that LFC camp, like you had mentioned. And his opponent, KM Adjust, is 3-3, a high-level striker with elite head movement and footwork. And as the name will suggest, he can adjust to any and every fighting style, whether it be fast-paced or slow and methodical. He's on a 2-fight win streak right now, and he's one of the best upcoming camps. He's looking to leave his mark and make a name for himself today in this middleweight division, Boiler, and he's got a tough test ahead of him in Zombies.
Definitely, man. Well, let's get right to it. Why don't we?
Let's do it.
What are they at? Middleweight. Whitaker mirror match. Okay, Whitaker, some people say he's OP. I don't know if he's OP per se, but he is one of the best picks you can possibly get at middleweight. I have used Whitaker relatively often. I'm more Whitaker than Adesanya as an example. Do you use Whitaker at all? What do you think about his style?
Not as much anymore. I used to use Whitaker, but to be honest, I don't like mirror matches. That's just me. That's just a personal thing. But instead of running into a million Whitaker mirror matches, I actually started using Vettori, and I grapple more whenever I play at middleweight.
Nice, man.
Counter grapplers in middleweight. So.
We are kindred spirits because I love Vettori. Actually, once he came out, he's one of my favorite characters added to the game, and I started using him way more. And Gastelum, I use Gastelum a fair amount when I saw Romero kick some ass with him in ESFL. So, all right, well, we do have a mirror match. We do got Whitaker. I am sure this is going to be an exciting fight, though. So let's see where they stand. First time we've really seen some clinch today, it seems like. Big uppercut, man. Zombies is almost in a zombie state already.
Maybe he's just trying to go out there and earn his name, like you're not really a zombie if you're not half dead, right? So
you gotta wake up. You gotta take some damage and then you really wake up. I get it.
And there are some guys you see like that in real life, man. They're just kind of going through the motions until they really get hit with something. Then you see them wake up and become somebody else. And I personally love seeing that. But that was a great takedown there by Zombies. Now he can look to do his own damage from the top. Not quite able to get to mount though. Good defense by Adjust there. And he does a good job getting to that full guard sweep there, Boiler.
Yeah, man strength. I always call that man strength when you're able to just put him over like that. Goes for the stand-up. Doesn't want to mess around on the ground, does Mr. Adjust.
Yeah, probably a good move. I feel like he was getting the better of the exchanges on the feet, at the beginning of this round. And he looks to see if he can keep that momentum going. Both these guys are getting some good trades. A beautiful duck there into the left hook counter off of that head kick, Boiler.
You're lucky he didn't do more damage, to be honest, because that was perfect. Oh, nice job. Not worried. Zombies takes that shot, but comes right at him like a zombie. Wow. That was about as close as you can get to get knocked out there, man.
Yeah, no, that's as close as it gets. And Zombies is looking for a repeat performance. He's trying to get that head held down. And again, he gets almost as close as you can get it. And then Adjust is able to do just that. Adjust, pull his head down, and get himself out of danger. Now he's just is he in survival mode yet, Boiler, or can he still try and implement some of his own offense here at the end of the round? Got about a minute and a half left in the first.
At this point, while you don't want to ever be just in survival mode, he does need to be more defensive and maybe lay some traps and hope that you can use Zombies' aggression against him because so far he's getting pushed against his fence and not too much respect. Zombie doesn't have too much respect for what's coming back. So you got to stand your ground. I mean, you got to be on defense, but you got to throw strikes. You can't get countered like that. Though it's easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, oh, he caught him going for the major lunge right there. Caught him with a beautifully timed body shot, and I'd be surprised if this wasn't over, Boiler.
Ooh.
Color me surprised.
Color surprised, but it was another one that's like as close as it gets. I mean, only Whitaker and only a few other fighters out there can last this much, that close to getting knocked out 3 times practically in the first round. But he does, and it's still a game fight. I mean, neither of these guys is out of it by any means. Just a warm up for Mr. Whitaker. Ooh. Big shot.
Now, as I was about to ask you, is that a 10-8? I mean, he gets rocked again at the end. Oh, he got a knockdown, so I guess it can't quite be a 10-8.
Yeah,
but geez, that was close.
That's his only saving grace, practically, or it would have been potentially a 10-8. I think so, but did get that knockdown. So we'll assume 10-9. I hear. At this rate, I don't think it's going to be going to decision, but you never know. Both of them actually have a fair amount of health. Look at that. Their health and stamina is in decent shape.
Yeah. It just has to watch that lead leg and that head a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, they're not taking heavy damage. Beautiful slip there to get out of the way by Adjust. And then I like how he's throwing some feints in there because it's like, what's coming next? And if I'm wondering what's coming next, I can only imagine what's going through Zombie's head. Front kick, that's what's going through Zombie's head.
Great work by Zombies. Great distance management. Nice counter.
Beautiful combination to work up the ladder into getting that hook that knocked him down. And now he's definitely got to adjust on wobbly legs, and he's got him backing up. This is a great performance thus far from Zombies. Now he's just looking to cap it off and see if he can go chase down that finish right now, Boiler. What can Adjust do besides adjusting to get himself on a better foot here in this second round?
Man, it's pretty tough. If he could try to use maybe a teep to keep some distance, and big shot there. If he could just kind of be patient and find the holes in his defense like he did there. Great work. Zombies is in trouble. Knocked out.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I did not see that coming.
After
all that we saw, he survived so long, and then that's all it takes, and you can get knocked out, man. That's how rough this game can be, but it's just like that in real life, man.
Yeah, momentum is a pendulum for sure. I mean, it can be all the way in one corner, and then in seconds, it just comes swinging back to the other side. And that's the result of it, man. As we're sitting here talking about, how Adjust is getting pieced up and what can he do to make adjustments, he shows us, instead of being like, hey, instead of letting you guys speculate, how about this? I'll just go forward. Yep. I'll keep throwing my combos. I'll catch him and I'll go finish it. And then we don't have to worry about what does he have to do next.
Yeah,
we'll just see it.
Actions speak louder than words, right? KM Adjust with the big W. Kingsman. We saw Kingsman do some work last week, and we're seeing him again here on another affiliate card, doing some work. Great job, both fighters, but Adjust comes out with the big W. How about we move on? What do you say, buddy? We got a High Roller and Anakin, I believe. What you got to see? What do you got to see here?
Yes, sir. I touched on these two earlier whenever we had a little bit of a clerical error. But yeah, both these guys 2-0, both have fantastic knockout victories. High Roller is very dangerous on the feet, and he had mentioned if you don't know about him, you will after this. His own words, that's what he's planning for. He's planning to make a name for himself right now. And then Anakin is also another dangerous striker looking to make a name for himself. So it's really just going to be a race to the highlight reel in this one, from what I'm understanding, Boiler. Both these individuals are fantastic strikers who are looking to go out there and put that skill on display and show the other one, hey, this is how it's done. All right,
Absolutely. When ESFL, when you get the chance to be on the ESFL on this affiliate card, I mean, that is your opportunity, not only for two folks to get on the roster, actual roster spots with the ESFL. We're gonna have 2 people called up today. We also have the opportunity, hey, maybe I'm not quite ready for that, but at least it's great experience, Yes. Whether a month from now or a year from now, or even in UFC 5 down the road, trust me, keep grinding, working your way up these affiliate leagues, you'll make it to the ESFL. So everyone's been bringing great fights tonight. Looking forward to High Roller and Mr. Anakin, aka UFC Turkey. So let's have at it. Let's see who they pick, and what are we going to get? A bantamweight fight, it looks like.
So what we got from these individuals. I can't wait to see this thing unfold, Boiler. I feel like we're in for another banger. We had 6 just back-to-back incredible fights. We haven't. What's a decision? Hopefully we don't find out today.
We do not want to find out. That's the best part. All right, let's see what we got. We got High Roller with Mr. Dillashaw, UFC Turkey with Peter Yan. This is a classic matchup. You'll see this matchup a lot in the top ranks because these are two of the best fighters for sure. For Mr. Peter Yan, what is your advantage over Dillashaw, and how can you really, try to press that in this fight?
Like one of the advantages that Yan has over Dillashaw is his pure power, number one. And then I feel like Yan is actually better at stance switching than Dillashaw is.
Really? Wow.
At least in this game.
Okay.
Yan has a higher switch stance stat, if I remember correctly. I think that Cruz is the only one at bantamweight who has a higher one. I want to say Jan's is like 97 and Cruz is like a 98. I could be wrong on those numbers, but yeah, if you're Yan, I would look to switch the stance and I would always look to be in an open stance and work the body, Like right now, I would be in southpaw just trying to drill those. Well, or you can just spin and wheel kick. No, I was gonna say I'd be in southpaw trying to drill those roundhouses and those rear hooks into that liver. Just get that damage done. But if you can just keep knocking the block down and get some overhands, then why wouldn't you, right?
No, man. Well, it is, and I personally love working the body, but it's a little dangerous. I mean, obviously, if you stick your head down there and throw a couple punches, you can get uppercut of death instantly. And also, when you're on one foot because you're throwing a big kick to the roundhouse of the body or whatnot, you can get overhand. We saw Garbrandt land that perfectly, overhand when he's going for, I think, a knee to the body. So it is a little risky sometimes to go to the body. I love working the body, but maybe Mr. UFC Turkey here, more of a headhunter at this point. There was a roundhouse to the body, though, so we'll see if he mixes it up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see as this fight plays out, who does a better job of mixing things up, because I feel like that's the best way to win in this game, man. You got to be unpredictable. Just like real mixed martial arts, right? There's so many assets and so many facets to this game, and you need to be good at all of them, so that way you can throw all of them at somebody, and because eventually there's going to be something they don't know how to counter, right? There's going to be something that they haven't seen before, something they haven't run into as much, and that can usually be your avenue to victory. So we're going to see who's able to mix things up until they find that avenue in this fight, Boiler. But right now, UFC Turkey's doing a really good job of working that block down of High Roller. We're going to see if he's able to capitalize on that as this fight goes on.
Yeah, great patience we're seeing here by High Roller. He's stepping off, and threw a three-piece that connected nicely. Both guys trying to get some reads in. I mean, Mr. UFC Turkey may have to try out that southpaw stance because you're seeing some bruising on his left calf and about halfway down, and there's another couple shots. That calf's starting to get beat up. Personally, I like to switch stance at this point already because, why would you take more damage towards the end of this round? But I guess he is surviving here. He's still throwing kicks with it, so no worries.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat as you, Boiler, and I'm realizing, the longer we spend in this booth, we really are kindred spirits. Just because the body, I love to work the body, but like you said, it's so risky sometimes. And then, you got to switch that stance whenever that health bar is even getting close to half, in my opinion. Like, that's whenever I'm like, all right, let me switch this up so he can't just keep chewing on this one leg. Especially if you're using somebody like Yan, who can excel out of both stances. Like, there's no reason not to,
Oh, absolutely. And I use it with guys who can't even switch stance very well, like in an emergency situation, if I'm getting chopped down early, especially in that first round, you can't let it lose halfway. But, we'll see. We'll see. He's still bringing the fire. He's still going orthodox. We'll see if he starts checking them or if he does take a couple more. And as for High Roller, you want to keep targeting that leg, but, can't get predictable with that either, can you?
No, you can't. But what I'm liking that High Roller's doing, he's standing in the middle and making him come fight, right? Like, he'll come in and he'll jab once or twice, but for the most part, for the most part, he's staying out of danger and able to get back to the center of the octagon. But as the commentator curse often does, they know what you're about to say and they make you look foolish as you're going to say it. So, so this thing always works. But we'll see, going forward, what adjustments are made on both sides, Boiler.
For sure. I'm enjoying this, and maybe not as much raw action as we saw in previous fights, but it's still very high level. There's still some good damage being done, and they're both trying to get good reads on each other. They're not just throwing, button mashing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I appreciate the slower, more methodical fights in ESFL. I appreciate it in real life, but in the game specifically, because we see so many, 0 to 100 car crashes where people just get in here and just start throwing everything. They stand in the center, they stand on the napkin. And I like seeing these slower technical, exchanges, because it really shows you the next level of the striking, I believe. You know, it shows you like who's able to make those reads, who's able to time their shots well, who's able to see what's coming and throw something that would intercept it just a little bit better. So I enjoy seeing these changes of pace here.
Ooh, definitely. You know, not anyone can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but if you can combine that with a nasty changeup and a curveball, before you know it, you're Shohei Ohtani. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
but if you can only throw a fastball, you can still be a high-level relief pitcher, but it ain't gonna be.
You're still just a Roldis Chapman. I'm there with you.
There you go. So I mean, you know, if you bring just the pressure and that's your only game, you can maybe even make it to the ESFL. But if you want to be top of the top, you got to really bring in multiple facets of the game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is just everybody here is such a high level. You have to be good at everything, right? Because in situations like this, you know, whenever you are getting your leg chewed off, like if you could throw in a takedown, because he's got a major stamina advantage that I'm seeing right now. If he could throw a takedown, or if he would have done so earlier in the round, maybe he might have been able to steal this one, you know, get some of his own offense back this round. But right now, it looks like Dillashaw is starting to find his rhythm, and I've personally got him up 2 rounds. Not to say that this fight's over, and hey, I mean, if he gets caught with enough of those, what's a scorecard? We won't need it in the first place. But good God!
He's decided he's going full head hunting, and it's working out at this point. His leg is chewed up, but he's like, I don't really care. I'm just going to keep throwing those headshots and batter your brains in, and starting to accumulate. I mean, what are you going to do if you're Dillashaw here? What are you going to do? You're chewing the leg up, but you're getting your brain boxed in.
I'm saying, Teeps, keep that man away from me.
Okay. Okay, use those Teeps, right? Use that length a little bit.
Use the length or take him down. I mean, just any position where he can't just keep boxing your face off, right? Like, if you got to take him into the clinch, do it. Like,
oh, and you can see not only is his head health really low, his block health is down a fair amount. Enough where just a couple block break strikes will totally decimate it, and then you'll get knocked down thereafter. But great takedown, just like you said, man.
That's what he needed, man. That was a huge takedown for Dillashaw. Now let's see what, if anything, he can do with it, right? Like, if he can stay in this top position for the rest of the round, then he should coast to a relatively easy decision, right? But, you know, if Jan, rather, is able to get back up or get a reversal into a position and maybe start throwing some submissions up, then Dillashaw could be in some danger, and, you know, we never really know what we'll see in that situation. So I'm just curious to see how this thing plays out. We got about 3.5 minutes left in the third. We might get our first decision here today, bro.
Yeah, another one where we said, we probably won't see a decision, but we may. We'll find out. Nice reversal there by Mr. Turkey. You know, I was about to say Dillashaw can just stay here, kind of waste away. One of the worst parts about getting your leg chewed up is it does count as a lot of damage, and the judges really consider damage even more than strike stats. So, big shots. I almost wonder if you're Dillashaw here, do you want to try to just win this round and not risk too much? But that's always risky in of itself.
Yes, because you never know how the judges saw the other 2 rounds.
Yep.
Now, I just got to throw a quick thing in. Jan threw that wheel kick, and it landed perfectly. I'm surprised this fight, I was going to say it's still going, but then it might not have been. But yeah, I'm surprised that it made it to this point. Because I feel like that wheel kick, as he was throwing a jab, could have slept him. Those uppercuts, on the other hand, might.
That's it. That's it. It's over. UFC Turkey. Big shots outlast. Doesn't worry about getting his leg chewed up. Says, you can kick my leg. I'll trade leg shots for temple shots. And over time, I guess temple shots do a little bit more damage. Great work. He, just kept charging ahead. He's like, you know what? I'm not worried. Let's just keep going. Let's keep up the grind. That was his game plan, and it worked out, Frank.
That's absolutely just having faith in yourself and in your game plan, being like, listen, it's not looking good right now, but I know what I do. I know what I do well, and I'm going to continue to do that. And he pulled it off. You know, he was able to just keep chipping away, and best way to eat an elephant's one bite at a time. And
there you go.
Down, so
he got taken down, and it looked like he could have, there's 2+ minutes left. Could have potentially been, brought into deep waters and just outscored, put on his back. But he's able to get up and obviously get that big finish. Great work. Another fun fight. Different than the rest, but variety is the spice of life. So I really enjoyed it there, Frank. We got to move on though, buddy. Looks like we got Savannah and Raw Cryptic. What do you know about them, sir?
Well, Savannah's 4-1, burst onto the scene with a massive win over current title contender EK Bang Bang, who always brings the fight.
Wow, yeah.
But Savannah has endless potential. Will be fighting for a title at some point in his career if if everything goes according to plan. Raw Cryptic is currently 6-3. He's only lost to other super high-ranked fighters and has dominant grappling. But when put up against a strong grappler, he's shown he's not afraid of keeping the thing on the feet. So we'll see what approach he looks to take here tonight against Savannah. And also, I just want to make a quick correction, Boiler. You say variety is the spice of life, but paprika, man, you can put it on just about anything. Like, it's just kind of, paprika's the go-to.
All right. I like it, man. I like it. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's jump right in. I mean, the fact that Savannah got that win over EK Bang Bang. Guess what? Mr. Bang is in the ESFL powered UFC Esports tomorrow, the Summer League, the second event of 4. EK Bang. Oh, let me look. I have it here. See if I can. Who's his competitor tomorrow? I think I closed it. Anyway, EK Bang is actually in the true Esports UFC official competition, and Savannah's got a win over him.
Exactly.
So this is some legit competition tonight here on Prime Time, and we're not even at the main event. So looks like we got a Jan and Rob Font. I love using Rob Font. I think he's actually my favorite at this weight class now. What do you think about Font? You use him at all?
To be honest, I haven't used Font as much. His patch came in whenever I was in kind of taking a break from the game stage, and I just haven't gotten around to picking him up as much. I've used him a little bit, and I do like what I see. It's just I love using Cruz in this division. I can't come off him, even though he's not the best, but I just love using him. It's just fun, So
hey man, see, I'm just like you. Just like you said, we're getting to know each other much more similar than we might have thought. I like using 4-star fighters and the guys that people don't use very often. So it's tough. Like a Rob Font against Peter Yan, you're at a disadvantage. You can't lie. But Rob Font does have the tools to get a win. So let's see what he can do here. See what Raw Cryptic can do.
Exactly. Namely, those super heavy hands, man. Like Rob Font can mix it up in the pocket with just about anybody and come out on top. This guy has got heavy hands, but as I mentioned in the last fight, it's hard to use those when you're on your back. So we're going to see if he's able to get back up to the feet and, get his own offense going.
Yep. Rob Font, I feel like when I play with him, he's so smooth. That was like when I was streaming and playing with him when the patch came out. That was like the word that I used to describe him the most. Smooth. He's very powerful too, but I feel like he's got the length and the great combinations where, you put that all together with that power. If you like guys with heavy hands and that are smooth, Rob Font's your guy.
Yeah, definitely a solid pick. And I might have to start using him a little bit more myself, Boiler. I'm
try him out, man. He's a lot of fun.
Getting back in the swing of things, trying to get back to where I used to be. So we'll see what happens in that regard. But in this regard, we've got Savannah on top in the sprawl, getting some good body shots in. And honestly, this is one of those positions I never try and do too much from here. I don't mind being stood up if I'm on top because I'll just get some free, shots to the body in.
No, I fully agree. Getting that free body shots, you're getting a little bit of, I presume that counts as control time. Maybe not, but you're definitely in a dominant position, doing damage, frustrating your opponent. Just the mental game itself. Your opponent doesn't want to be there taking body shots. They get frustrated. So I do that, but I sit on the denial. So if my opponent does get frustrated, get a denial or two, they're really going to start freaking out. So that I definitely like to play those mind games. That's what you got to do in certain situations like that.
Right. And these guys are mixing things up in the pocket very well. I mean, it seems like every time one lands, the other one's right there just to match them, Like, I don't think I've seen either of these guys land a clean shot and not eat one in return.
Definitely. That's when you get these even matchups with these top dogs. Neither of them wants to give up. I mean, they're like, all right, you hit me, I'll hit you. We get a little dance going here, a little warm-up first round. Both of them did some damage, but nothing too crazy. They're pretty even, at least on the stamina and health aspect. But you did see a big difference in strikes, output, and landed. So you got to assume that he got the, won that round.
You would have to assume, but stranger things have happened in the scorecards of this game. So
fair enough.
We'll have to see, how that goes at the end if we get to that point. He tries to pull guard, maybe go for that sweep, but Font does a good job of getting himself out of that danger and not even having to worry about that.
That was a great read. That's tough when people pull guard. I mean, if you're going against a jiu-jitsu specialist, trying to pull guard, you can hold it a little bit. But to do that off reaction, which I looked like he probably did, maybe got lucky and just held it down and just like, oh, good. Well, at least I hit the right button. But no, it looked like it was on reaction, and that takes a lot of time in this game. And he obviously has his reads down pat.
And I feel like you can see the time that both of these fighters have put into this game, right? Just in their fighting style. You can see that they've got a lot of knowledge just about the striking, about the grappling, about, this game in general. You can tell that in the strikes that they're throwing, in the timing, in their, just in their footwork, the way that they're managing distance. And it's a treat to watch.
Yeah, there's a whole different level to, there's many levels to this game, as they say, but you can really tell the difference between, someone who's Division 20 but only uses one technique or kind of abuses something, compared to someone who's in a league, always fighting the best of the best, but also having to fight respectfully. That's one of the best things. You can fight. We do have some rules that you can't use certain things, but you can fight how you want. You can spam or do all these different things, but the community will see you do that. So doing it, live time's different than OWC, and really is that next level of challenge for sure. I've seen guys ranked in the top 10 totally fold on the bright lights and vice versa. So it's definitely a new level. I'm so excited. The ESFL and all these affiliate leagues, primetime and all of them, just growing and getting bigger and better.
Yeah, and that's what I love, right? This is an affiliate league card, but it still feels ESFL quality, right? These guys are bringing in great fights back to back to back to back to back. We're seeing a lot of skill on display, and we're seeing the future of ESFL in these affiliate league cards right now. That was a huge left from Jan. Font does a good job to get out of the way of the follow-up shots and keep himself in this fight, but that just speaks to the skill I was just speaking on. Like these guys, everybody here is good, man. But these guys are another level of good.
There you go.
Great to see.
So Savannah, even though a little behind on the stamina curve, has chipped away at the head held. Peter Yan, they're on the opposite sides of, they flip-flopped at this round. Big shots, though. He's working Rob Font over. Being patient, though, not overextending, respecting Rob Font, a.k.a. Rock Cryptic's power. But Savannah doing a good job chipping away, even though, a little bit behind on the stamina. This is a 3-round fight, and you can't take the stamina home with you. So you might as well use it up. You want to be judicious, but you got to bring that output, too, and he's doing a really good job of that, is Savannah.
Man, you got to, like you said, you can't take it with you. Smoke it if you got it. You got that stamina bar. If it's taking up half the screen, then throw more. You got the space for it, just go for it, right?
Gotta smoke it if you got it. Throw them if you still can.
Yes.
So this third round, both of them in decent shape from a health and stamina aspect. Let's see. Really, I guess my question for you, Raw Cryptic might be a little bit behind. It's hard to tell, especially with commentary, but I feel like he's a little bit behind. What can he do in this third round to really turn it around? Have you been able to notice anything he can take advantage of?
Body shots. It feels like he's doing more damage to Jan's body than his head, as we see there. He's doing a pretty good job mixing things up to the body, and for the most part, he's able to get those shots in without having too much of a tell. Like there, he's not giving it away too much that he wants to go to the body. That said, Jan is noticing that, and you're starting to see an uptick in uppercuts from Piotr Jan. He's trying to catch him going for one of those body shots. But if he's able to keep mixing things up like this, he might be able to get a body rock that could lead to a knockdown, that could lead to him getting that ground and pound to get the finish. So it's not over yet here, Boiler. He's still got 3 minutes to work, and we'll see what he's able to get done in that time.
Yeah, definitely not over, and he's landing. He's getting some of those switch kicks. Almost everyone he's throwing, just adding in nice little dug to the liver. Nothing huge, not huge damage, but it's cumulative, and it's hurting Savannah. The question is it going to be enough to outscore him? Like you said, you might have to get a health event or even a knockdown. Oh, big shot! Cryptic's hurt.
That does not bode well for Cryptic going forward. Again, not saying it's over. That was a good slip there by Cryptic. He probably wishes that would have done a little bit more damage. It's kind of interesting, right? You'll see somebody throw a slip straight, and then it does like that. He just threw a slip straight. I thought at a decent time, but it didn't do the damage that others have done. It's just kind of interesting how all strikes are not created equal, right?
They're
But
not.
a beautiful question mark kick right there into a nice body uppercut and the left hook up top.
Oh.
Good combination from Cryptic, but wasn't judicious enough with the stamina there and ended up paying for it with those two huge switch kicks to the body. It's looking like it's going Savannah's way right now here, Boiler.
Yeah, Cryptic just took a little bit too much damage in the first couple rounds. I felt like up until he got knocked down, he was winning that third round, doing very well, picking him apart, fighting smart, making a miss, but just a little bit too much damage. That double switch kick put him on his butt.
Yeah, and you know, he was trying to, I was about to say, he was trying to get some intrigue going for the Kimura, but just didn't look like he had the stamina advantage that was necessary and wasn't going to be able to do much, so he just let that one go.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, especially when you don't have time to spare. He was not going to lock that in. So,
you know, I mean, you just got to take your hats off to Savannah and to Cryptic. I mean, both fought well the entire time, but about 20 seconds left to go. It looks like Savannah is just going to salt away victory on top here. The first two rounds were extremely close, but I think that you could, in good conscience, give both of those to Jan. And while I do feel that Font was winning that third round, by the way, first decision tonight, boy. While I feel that Font was winning that third round, that knockdown at the end was enough to seal it. And yeah, as we saw, Jan was able to get that decision. I would like if they would, you know, hit the fight stats so we can take a look. All right.
There you go. Nice. Wow, the volume. So yeah, 30-27 all around, a lot more volume for Savannah. But I also thought that up until he got knocked down with that minute left or so, that it looked like he was going for that win. I thought he was going to get a win or win that round, that is. But Savannah's like, nah, I'm going to make sure just in case. I'm going to put the nail in the coffin. But great fight by both competitors. And, you know, I felt like he had fought like that a little bit early. If Raw Cryptic had fought like that just a little earlier, you know, second or even the first round, a little more patient, so much easier to say that than actually do that, especially when you got someone with such skill, Savannah, who's beating EK Bang and adds another win to his record. So great stuff, man. Another fun fight.
Yeah, definitely. We got another one on the way. It's gonna be this one is gonna be EK Harambe versus Yeedicus. I'm excited for this one here, Boiler. Harambe is 3-0, and he was added to the ESFL roster after season 2. He's yet to debut. He's on a 3-fight win streak and one of the best grapplers in the game. He's one to watch for this coming season, and he has a primetime win over former ESFL champion Papa Lemur. So he's got some knockouts under his belt. Yeah, exactly. He's taking on Yeedicus, who is a submission specialist, recently improved his striking around at his game. He's 3-1, looking to prove why he deserves to be at the top. And it looks like we might get some interesting grappling in this matchup. Boiler, of course, we're thinking that now, so naturally it's gonna be 15 minutes. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, EK and Harambe made it to the roster, but guess what? The season had ended just about that time. So unfortunate timing, but the ability to get some work done on the bright lights of the ESFL page live on Twitter, or on Twitch right now. And on the flip side, Yeedicus, I'm familiar with Yeedicus. Let's see if he could put a damper on EK's day. You know, EK, one of the top camps in all of UFC community. Of course, Yeedicus wants to give him a big L, big old L. Let's see what he could do on this one. Go ahead.
In their rivalry tracker, it looks like Yeedicus is up 5-0 right now. That could have just been one day, and that could have been way back when. So we don't know, where the current state of this matchup is. But according to those numbers, it looks like Yeedicus has an advantage. We'll see what happens, as this fight plays out.
Yeah, that's a rough. He's got a big goose egg, but like you said, it could have been a while ago. It could be a different matchup. But wow, we got Tony here trying to take down Khabib. This is gonna be real interesting to see what Harambe, what he's able to do. But the matchup we never got, man. Khabib and Tony. I don't see this too often, to be honest. People don't use Khabib as often. Do you use Khabib at all? Big Shot. Do you use Khabib or Tony? And what do you think's the keys to victory for both gentlemen?
I main Dustin in this division, but every now and then I will break out Khabib if I just feel like grappling and making somebody upset. Like if I just feel like messing somebody's day up. I have never in my life seen that. Hang on, he caught him going for the double, and then did the hip toss counter. I've never seen somebody actually pull that one off. Like I knew it was in the game.
Yep.
I'd seen it done in 3. I haven't seen anybody in 4 do that live action. So thank you, Yeedicus. You have just given me a first here live in front of people. So thank you.
That was absolutely beautiful. I've only seen that in competition literally like twice, and I've watched hundreds and hundreds of fights in the past year. So very impressive. I actually tried to add that to my game, and it's really hard for me to get my muscle memory for that. But that was beautiful work, and big uppercut too. Yeedicus is really on fire right now. He's already in that flow state. He's like, you want to try to take me down? Fine. You want to stand up? Fine. Wherever you want it, Tony's bringing the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like it doesn't matter what Habib's trying to do right now, right? Like Tony's in his head. I love that combo he's throwing with the front leg teep followed by the switch kick. That's a nice combo. You don't see a lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of people utilizing that. I'm not gonna say that you guys haven't, because anyway. Now these guys are just trying to find that rhythm. Yeedicus goes for the patented Beyblade technique with the spinning elbow followed by the regular elbow, and then Habib tries to get this fight to the ground. He's able to do so. That was a nice drag down there.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique animation too. I've seen that, but not super often. Kind of, right. I don't know if he bailed into that or just the angle he hit him at, but anyway, pretty good takedown. But it doesn't matter because he's in full mount now. I don't care who you are. If you got Khabib mounting you in half guard. Not a good situation. Let's see if we can use that Tony Ferguson off the bottom game. That was always the question. Would he be able to defend Khabib? We didn't get to see that in real life, but I guess we'll see it right now.
I guess we will.
40 seconds. Man strength. Oh, nice. Good work. Gets back up. He's like, all right, I got up. I don't want to actually be on the ground with you, but I can at least do enough to stand up. Exactly. Oh, he went for that teep and follow up switch kick and got caught there. Yeah, he's onto that, it looks like. Ooh.
Just one moment, boy. I'll be right back.
Absolutely, no problem. Good first round. That was very, very fun. Good stand-up work. I mean, he set the tone there with that takedown reversal, whatever. It's like pretty much just hip tossed him, I think, into side control, maybe even side saddle. So if you're able to do that to Khabib, that's going to really frustrate your opponent. And you got to imagine that he put that into his game plan, like muscle memory over and over to do that takedown counter. Let's see if he's able to execute that again, or if we can get some chain wrestling from Haram.
Yeah, that's not something, like you said, that you see every day. And it was, like you said, it kind of set the tone for the round. You know, the whole time Habib had to have been thinking about that. That's Harambe. Sorry, I was trying to remember who was playing who. But Harambe, that's just got to be something that he was thinking about. But obviously, it didn't weigh too heavily on the mind since he was able to just get right back down here to start round 2. Now he's on top of Tony in that full guard, but you said you don't want Habib on top of you. I don't want to be in Tony's guard. It's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, right? Because that's just such a dangerous position for Tony Ferguson. He can do so much from there. And even in positions like this, when you're in the side control, it's mostly dominant. Tony can still bust out a darts. Like, you never know what you're going to get from this guy. So, Harambe, this Habib player's got to be on his P's and Q's. And right now, he seems to be doing a decent job of doing that.
That has some great timing on these transitions. He's doing a very nice job mixing things up. He's got to be careful. He almost got flipped over. If he wasn't Khabib, he definitely would have been flipped over. Going for the leg lock, denied. Oh, that was close. But he's been dominating. He's been on top at least a minute and a half. We got about a little more than 2.5 minutes left in this round. Harambe, he's being pretty cautious too. He's throwing some damaging strikes. He's landed a couple denials on these transitions. He wants to keep him here the balance of this round. I don't think he wants to get another stand up. So it's up to Yeedicus to get up.
Yeah, I definitely would be doing the same, right? If I'm Harambe, like, okay, yeah, you had a nice round on the feet and on the ground. So let me just stay in positions that I know I'm going to be able to do things from. I know I'm going to be able to do damage from the top. But I'm also trying to stay out of guard as long as possible just to avoid any submission threats. But, this should be enough if he's able to continue the rest of this round at this rate. It should be enough to even things up on the scorecards. And then that sets us up for a very interesting round 3, right?
It does. It does. We're seeing Yeedicus blow a little bit of stamina. He's getting denied, and he's losing, obviously, on points. But gets back on his feet heading into that third round. If he does, I mean, we never know here. He's actually if you look though at their head health, Eutychus has not taken too much damage. He's losing on points, and his stamina's a little low for missing some transitions, but he hasn't taken much damage. So if he can get back on his feet either at the last 30 seconds here or at least start of the third round, he's got a great chance to do some damage. But on the other hand, Harambe's got 30 seconds. He's got full mount, postured up. He needs to land some damage here.
Yeah, he just needs to go crazy, empty the gas tank, do everything he can to try and get some damage done in this last 15 seconds. Because as we had said, I feel like this is enough for Harambe to get around scorecards, but I don't think Eutychus is sweating right now. I don't think he has much to worry about. I feel like, going into round 3, Eutychus has shown that he has an advantage on the feet, and he did lose that round, but he didn't take a lot of damage in doing so.
Right.
So he should be comfortable to just stand and trade. He shouldn't have to worry too much about that. We'll see what happens here in this third round. Stamina is about even, and Habib is like, I'm not playing on the feet. But that was a great denial there by Eutychus. He's like, hold on, I know what you're going for.
Yeah, coming straight out with the ankle pick. Pretty close. He's able to stuff it, though. Eutychus did a great job of swaying back and forth, rolling with the punches, because Harambe was, nice stuff.
Wow, beautiful.
That's big time. That's big time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, Eutychus wants to stay off his back now. Oh, man. That's not good. Eutychus has got to be very frustrated and almost in panic mode at this point because he was on his back more than 4 minutes straight last round. And, if that happens again here, it's game over. What's he going to do here? How do you change this up? You're going against Khabib. What kind of tricks have you got up your sleeve?
You got to throw those submissions that only Tony has, or not only Tony has, but you get what I'm saying. You got to throw up those random go for the leg locks.
He threw the leg locks and it got denied. It was beautiful. It was. I mean, that's got to really hurt. You try to throw, your ace of spades, your backup out there, and
right, yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. Even whenever he did go for it earlier, now he's got it now. And even if he does just give this one up, they're going to stand up. There you go. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's a free stand up, beautifully done right there, and that's high fight IQ from Eutychus to know that. Going into that submission attempt that he could just let it go immediately and get back up. But a great drop down there by Habib. He's breaking out all the takedown animations that he has.
Literally.
It's Habib. That's a lot of them.
Exactly. It's a show. This is a grappling display, to say the least. That turning takedown from the back, I've never been able to get a read on that and deny it. It's so tricky. It works so well. He implemented that. He was trying to push him forward, and then he tried to drag him back. The turning takedown, bam, bam, bam. Before you know it, dominant position again. Got Tony. It is a great. No problem at all. It is a great grappling performance. I mean, we are seeing practically everything. Only a minute 30 here for Eutychus. Frank, are there any other submissions he could try to pull out? Oh no,
well, he tried to go for the darts, but it got denied. And now now it's all bad. Honestly, you just gotta. You got to try and catch one of these, the free flick whenever he's going for the elbow. You got to try that. That's what I was trying to say. You got to try to get back into side control. Now he's back into the full guard. Maybe he can go for a rubber guard to get a transition to top mount, or he can just use it to get up. You got to try and I think you got to try and end this one on the feet and maybe get a rock to even things up. But
at this point, I think you're right. If it was a second round, he could still maybe try to go for a submission, even though it's too late now. But dang, impressive ground control, takedowns, variety of takedowns, and now he's finishing with some ground and pound. It's I'm not a lay and pray. I'm very active. I'm getting damage in there, says Harambe, and great work. Finish it.
Leave a good impression on the judges, I would think, as well. Just ending the round, landing some ground and pound. That was a great fight from both guys. I feel like I would, if I had to score that one, I would give it 29-28 Harambe, but Eutychus definitely had some moments. Eutychus looked great for the most part. It's just, once Habib Harambe was able to get this to the ground, he was able to keep it there for the most part.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's how the judges saw it, and it looks like that is. Hopefully they'll give us fight stats as well. Thank you so much. And yeah, volume and takedowns. Almost 8 minutes of control from Habib. That is super impressive, and it's hard to argue against that on the scorecards, right? You can say what you want, but The fight's 15 minutes. You were on your back for 8 of them. You know, it's just,
And it was just as you said, 29-28. So Eutychus must have won that first round, but 5 of 10 on takedowns with that mass amount of ground, control time. That's a real Khabib fight. I mean,
yeah.
if there were elbows on the ground in this game, maybe you could have got the finish. But we'll just leave it.
We're not gonna get into that, boy. It's still too soon.
So I don't want to hear anyone giving him crap about using that grappling heavy game because it was very dynamic and fun, and he tried to go for the finish. He wasn't laying praying. So great work there by EK
It worked,
Harambe. Good stuff. Hey man, we're here for this co-main. You ready for this?
Man, no, but let's do it anyway.
Take it away. We got the co-main, folks. Who and what are they all about, Frank?
All right, we got KIA Joshraee, recent addition to the KIA camp. I've seen Joshraee, as I had mentioned at the top of the show. I've seen this individual compete and perform in the UFL, another one of our affiliate leagues. He's good. He's got some skill. His 2 losses are the 2. I'm pretty sure they were both title fights. So he's able to get to the top of the mountain. This guy has got some skills. He's very dangerous. And we expect a clinic from this man. But he's taking on ThatGuyJME, who has competed against some of the best and is a very polished fighter in this game. He was the Esports Summer Series contender. He's made a name for himself on the Twitter league scene and is now becoming well known to the higher levels of competition. And he hopes that this will be a good showcase to really announce his presence in this Esports Fight League. And we'll see who's able to go out there and get that dub here, Boiler.
Yes, sir. Without further ado, let's get it rolling.
Let's do it.
See what weight class they're at and who they're looking to pick. They're loading up now. Let's see if we get a little heavier weight. Nope, we're at featherweight probably. Yep. I think we saw one middleweight fight, but we've seen a lot of featherweight and bantamweight. I do know at the competitive scene, a lot of folks like to use the lighter weights. I like using the heavyweight, middleweight a little bit more, but see, we are seeing some bangers at the smaller weight classes, so it is what it is, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not that big on heavier guys just because I make too many mistakes. And in heavyweight, I pay for that too much. So I don't like that. Consequences are real, and I don't like that.
I feel your pain. I got one shot knocked out by the one and only EK Bang at light heavyweight. I was like, I'm going to take my Chuck Liddell up against his DC. That did not work good. But anyway, back to this fight. We got that classic Volkanovski versus Holloway. And at least in the ESFL, in the first couple seasons, I kept track of all the event results. And Volkanovski won this like 70% of the time, this matchup. Just like Volkanovski kind of has Holloway's number in real life. I mean, very close fights, all that. But Volkanovski does seem to have the advantage here. Let's see if Josh can make a difference, though, and use some. I think he needs to use that length and use that volume against Volk. But Volk is such a powerhouse, right?
Yeah, and Volk is doing a great job right now moving around the octagon well. I mean, he's not in any one spot, and anytime you try to hit him, he's not there. That was a great job there to mix in that takedown. Even better job by Joshraee to defend it.
Yeah,
Josh went for his own, but wasn't quite able to get that. Goes through the patented Beyblade technique. Gets some decent damage off of it there.
We're definitely seeing some high-level stuff. Like you said, the takedown kind of came out of nowhere, perfectly timed, and it was still nice shot.
That left hook was also timed perfectly. I think he caught him going for a teeth and just bam, caught him right upside the head, and that gets our first knockdown of the fight. And now Joshraee is looking to keep momentum on his side, and he's starting to march Volkanovski down, but he's also not just carelessly wading into trouble as we see.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do against Volk is just stand right in front of him, overcommit, and get countered. But like you said, Josh has got that nice game plan of hitting and moving, getting out of the way, trying to make it more of a, while they're still throwing heavy leather, a little bit more technical. We'll use that length, because look how much taller Holloway is.
Yeah, I feel like you have to, right? But one thing I am noticing, Joshraee is doing a pretty nice job mixing things into the body as well. That knee was just too far away, but if he would have caught him ducking into it too, that could have been disastrous. But coulda, shoulda, wasn't. You know, I mean, he missed. He's doing a good job of attacking that block as well, knocking down that health of JME. We'll see, how that plays a part going forward. JME is doing a good job of getting these clinches in, and that was a great time takedown. And now we're going to see if he's able to advance position, if he's able to get past the legs of Joshraee. Good job there avoiding that up kick. And now he's in the stack guard. This is a very dangerous position.
It was a very nice takedown. He was able to grab that clinch, kind of circle around real quick to throw off maybe your equilibrium, and then that little trip takedown. Beautiful work, very fluid, and that'd be so hard to stop that takedown. It was so, you know, perfectly timed. Great work.
Yeah, great first round there from
Frank. We might have audio disconnect on your end, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're good now. Just in time. Round 2.
I was just asking what you saw in that first round, and I think I accidentally leaned on my mute button. That's my
No worries, man. I know how that goes. I saw both fighters implementing their plan, but neither being perfect, and that's what you expect at these top levels. It's not easy to implement your game plan perfectly. If it was, you're probably not fighting someone at your level. You need to be brought up, but these guys are very well matched up, and both of them trying to fight to the strengths of their fighter. Volkanovski a little bit closer, a little bit more takedowns, whereas Holloway using that volume and trying to use a little bit of that distance. Nice jab to put him off balance and follow up with that knee. I mean, both of them bringing some good pain here, Frank.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like Joshraee is just trying to find his timing and his combinations right now, whereas Volkanovski is just trying to. I think JME is trying to set up another takedown, Boiler. I could be wrong about this, but it looks like he's just. Oh, okay, see there?
Yeah. You said you weren't good at making reads. You're ahead of the game there, sir.
I'm good for one every like 2 weeks.
I can make the reads. It's just, can you actually input the controls in time? That's the problem.
Right.
Oh, that was close. That was
Joshraee
close.
shows he can get the controls in time.
And look at this. This is a 5-rounder. I don't know if that was a mistake or it's purposeful, to be honest. But this co-main, maybe the co-main and main are 5-rounders. I know the main certainly is, and is a fight for the top contender. But
perhaps
way I see it now, 5 rounds.
Fight?
Yeah. So, big knee.
Huge knee. Now he tries to capitalize with the body work. That's very high IQ there from Joshraee. He gets his opponent hurt to the head. He knows he's going to be covering that up. So let me get some extra free damage to the body while you're not even, thinking about it.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I mean, both guys have had this. I'm having trouble saying who's winning right now. Maybe I'm missing it. Oh, big shot. I do feel like we're seeing a little bit of an edge from Holloway, from Josh, but hard to say. What are you seeing, man?
Yeah, it's hard to, just be like, all right, he's winning this fight right now. But based on everything that I'm seeing, it looks like Josh is starting to take the momentum. He's doing better in the stamina realm of things.
Definitely.
And I feel like he's doing a little bit better job right now of applying pressure. I say that as JME starts to get him up against the cage and is able to attack a couple of different takedown looks, but he's not quite able to get any of them, to materialize, doesn't quite commit to anything. And now both guys are back at the center of the octagon. And again, I'm seeing Joshraee starting to find a little bit of an advantage. He's mixing his combos up. He's attacking the head and the body, while it looks like Volkanovski is doing a little bit more head hunting at this current moment anyway. About 20 seconds left in the round. I'm not going to flat out say he's winning this fight, but it looks like Joshraee is finding himself in this fight so far, Boiler.
Great way to put it. Great way to put it. He's finding himself. He's feeling great. He's bowing at the end. He's not intimidated. He's throwing that volume, that Max Holloway volume, starting to catch up. In aggro, JME, we're starting to see a little bit of that stamina game. And this is, the word from the back, is supposed to be and is obviously a 5-round matchup. So stamina becomes even more important.
Yes.
I mean, we did, look, the stamina regen a fair amount. These guys got gas tank for days, but it's a 5-rounder. So that could, if Josh especially, look, he made a miss with that big overhand. If Josh can keep making a miss and punish him to the body and make a miss, it's gonna start making a bigger and bigger difference. And he goes for the takedown himself and lands it, Frank.
I love that. That's genius, right? Because I mean, he had JME starting to cover up the body. JME was attacking his body to try and make up that stamina differential. And he does a great job there of just getting into the clinch and getting that hip toss. And now looks like he's just content to hang out down here, right? And just let himself score some points, let himself keep some stamina, make the other guy work, right? Just take the 3rd round off, as DC has said he does sometimes.
Right, for real. And that was so tricky. I mean, I just don't think JME was going to be expecting that at all. So Josh really able to work the mind game, the strategy, and really just being unpredictable. Sometimes not even knowing what you're going to do next is advantageous because how's your opponent supposed to read? So maybe it was just instinct for that takedown. Whatever it was, worked great. And he's, like you said, working that body now. Got to be real frustrating. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go. You got to get up if you're JME, right?
I mean, yeah, but you try it, Boiler. It's a lot easier said than done, man. Like, he's got a very skilled opponent on top of him. I mean, come on. Yeah, just get up, but, like, just don't get hit, right? No,
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Joshraee is doing a great job right now, though, of applying pressure from the top. And he's not even applying super aggressive pressure. You know, like the last fight, we saw Harambe posturing up, trying to make sure he's doing a lot of damage with the beat from the top position. Whereas Joshraee is content just hanging out. He knows he's going to win the round anyway, so why not do it with as little effort and damage taken as possible? It's not the most aesthetically pleasing style of fight, but it's extremely effective and extremely intelligent, you know? Like,
definitely.
As good as Volk is from the top, he's not the best in the world from the bottom. You don't have a million submissions like Tony that you can just throw up. You can't throw a Darce from here, right? Like, you can't have a guy on top and go for a leg lock to Volkanovski. So Joshraee is doing exactly what he needs to do to keep himself in a position where he is firmly in front of this fight. And
beautiful.
He's able to, well,
it's over. It's
there
over.
we go.
Rage quit. Oh no!
Wow, rage quit and everything.
He was so, man. He was so patient with that groundwork, man. Like you were saying, so patient, landing denials. Before he knew it, all of a sudden, boom, side control, boom, full mount.
Right.
He just landed like 4 strikes and it was a knockout because it was perfectly timed and he already had him kind of hurt, and the stamina and just the frustration that he missed every single post and every head sway. Oh, that he got in his mind and worked the process perfectly in game. Great finish there, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's something that we love to see. That was a great fight from both competitors. That's that's JME's first loss in competition. So we'll see how he takes that, how he's able to regroup and pick up the pieces going forward. And we'll see what he's got for us in his next fight. And we'll see what Joshraee has on the horizon as well, because, you know, the future's got to be looking bright for that guy, man. And he hasn't
really
been
does
for very long, but he's already shown a major grasp of the skill and the technique necessary to go far in this ESFL. So I'm looking forward to seeing what things he has for us going forward.
Only getting better and being able to start winning the striking battle, but then just convert it into a takedown, ground and pound knockout with Max Holloway. That just shows that he's super well-rounded. Yeah. Very fun. Congratulations. Good stuff. Guess what, man? It is time for the main event. But first, a couple plugs. First off, if you guys are not part of the ESFL Discord yet, be sure to join. Got any mods out there, hit that ESFL Discord command so people can sign up. We got a couple events going there. Obviously, first off, go there to find some people to spar. Maybe join a camp. Find affiliate league to join if you're not doing that yet. But there's Discord challenges. The current one going on right now is a human highlight reel. So go to our Discord, check that stuff out. Fun stuff. And again, another plug real quick. Next week, it's going to be the premiere of a new affiliate league, the Internet Championship Fighting, ICF. I believe this is the Creative Fighter League. So we're bringing some creative fighters to ESFL. Not really use them so much, but Creative Fighter League, new affiliate next week. And then 2 weeks from now, the UFL coming back. Guess what? That'll be the end of our affiliate summer series. 4 in a row, all before the summer series on Sundays with Bailey and Bruce Lee Rob kicking some butt. Those are some long cards, but the competition's insane. So guys, there's no football. The Olympics haven't started yet. I know that the Euro is done. So tomorrow, you ain't got nothing better to do. Kick back, relax, maybe do some chores, whatever you got to do in the background. Check out the summer series, man. It is the best of the best. Getting ready to compete. August 1st is the grand finale, so definitely mark that on your calendar too. August 1st, the grand finale, the best of the best, and the return of guys like Romero and Papadoc, as well as former champs from ESFL and some new blood that made their way to the summer series, whether it's the open qualifier. I mean, it was amazing. On the UFC 4 channel, it said, sign up here for the summer series. We made it, baby. We're big time, Frank.
Yeah, no, seriously. That was that was the moment for me, right? Like I fired up UFC 4 and I'm in the menu and it's like,
wow.
Twitch.tv/UFC. It's like esports qualifiers. Mama, we made it. My goodness.
That was a surprise to everybody, man. It was amazing stuff.
Yeah,
all right, that's enough self-plugging. I know you guys always already follow ESFL, you subscribe and all that fun stuff, right, guys?
Absolutely.
But Frank, main event, 5 rounds. I believe this is for the number one contender spot. Who do we got and what's their story, sir?
All right, so we've got Ginga Ninja, TMF Ginga taking on Warzby, Ajs Warzby, or AJS Warzby. Excuse me. I can't talk today, Boiler. But Ginga is on a 4-fight win streak, 4-0 right now. He digs deep and he is never out of a fight. He can end it at any time. He's improved his game greatly in the last few months, and it shows becoming, the number one contender on Xbox over here for primetime fights. And he's going to be taking on Warzby, who's on a 3-fight win streak. Beautiful body work. He mixes it in his pressure with his high-level counters. He's unbeaten in primetime since joining AJS. And if you seriously don't think the camps make a difference at this point, that should be a ringing endorsement right there, right? Like the guy joins the camp, goes 3-0, and is now, in the position to fight for the number one contendership. So if you've been thinking about it, you've been wanting to join a camp, if you've had some hesitation or whatever, just do it. Just sign up, try it. And if you don't like the camp, you can just leave. Nobody's hanging you. Nobody's
even create your own camp. That takes a lot of effort, and you got to be in it for the long haul if you want to be officially recognized by the ESFL. But if you're in the Discord, go check out the camp section. Got a full description and member list. So we're definitely moving big on that, man.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, let's move on to this main event. 5 rounds. Warzby versus Ginga Ninja. I like that. That's funny. Looking like Warzby is up 1-0, at least in their tracked fights. I know with some of my opponents and people I've sparred with, I don't track the fight, but most people I do. But that 1-0, it doesn't mean too much. Anything can happen in this. So Warzby and Ginga Ninja. All right, buddy. I'm having a tech issue. You take over, and I will reload my stream. Have at it, Frank.
Sure thing. So we've got Joshraee taking on Yam. These guys are going to be in the bantamweight division, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we get out of these guys.
I'm good now. By the way, sorry about that.
There you go. See, so they just got started. You came back at the perfect time, Boiler. So Warzby's looking to start this thing off with that lauded body pressure.
Yeah, and this is like, I think second, maybe third time. Oh, big leg kick lands hard. That cracked. It's already knocked. That knocked at least 15% of his leg health off in one shot. So if Ginga Ninja's going to implement leg kicks into his game, he's off to a big start.
Yeah, that one was massive. You got to wonder if he caught him going for something. Because I feel like that's when I see the leg kicks do the most damage, right? When everybody's going for like an overhand or a takedown and you catch it and you can just like watch it fall off.
I honestly don't throw leg kicks, but I was so happy when they improved the damage that leg kicks do in this game with the recent patch. And again, I'm the one that's always getting kicked in the leg, so I have no skin in the game. In fact, it would be better for me if leg kicks didn't do much damage. But when they improved how much damage they did, et cetera, earlier this year, really changed the meta, I think. So we'll see if Ginga Ninja keeps working that leg. He hasn't quite yet, and there's a big check. So, you can also do a lot of damage checking kicks. I think it's balanced pretty well.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I wish that the leg kicks did a little bit more damage just to put a little bit more reward because it's so risky. If you're throwing a leg kick, you can get overhanded. You can get caught with just about anything, right? And leg kicks aren't going to take too many people out of too many animations, besides like the overhands and the takedowns. But for the most part, right, like I wish leg kicks did a little bit more damage to kind of balance out some of the, because if I get checked once on a leg kick, it does the same as me doing 3. You're
right. Look at Ginga Ninja. I think he was only checked once, and his right leg's down practically about as much as Warzby, even though he landed that big shot and maybe another 1 or 2 chipping away. So great point. Big shot. He got the angle too. He was kind of pivoting to that way and hit him big. You can create some interesting angles in this game, can't you?
Specifically, whenever you're using people like Joshraee and Cruz who have those unique lunges, like Dillasaw's downward lunge, like you just saw, will switch his stance, and then you can throw a hook out of that, and that'll you know, it'll set up, like you said, interesting, unique angles. Cruz has some similar techniques with that. Like one of his sways, if you throw hooks out of it, you can circle back to the middle of the cage from having your back on it. So it's just interesting the angles that you can create.
Yeah, definitely, especially with these talented smaller guys that could really bring some unique stuff you ain't gonna be seeing at the higher weights.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. These guys are just so agile and so quick that, you know, it's not a stretch to the imagination to believe that they can do things that Jan Blachowicz can't. You know?
For real. Dumps him on over. First round, did you pick up? I mean, we had some good banter, and there were some leg kicks, and there's some back and forth, but, you know, let's look at the stats. Who came ahead on that? Pretty damn even.
Yeah, no. That round, but they were both, like you said, extremely even. I mean, they were what, 1-2 strikes apart. These guys were.
Yeah, that's one where it'll come down to damage, and obviously we can't really tell who took more damage. The damage is practically even, so that's got to be a coin flip. If I was on either of their corners, I would tell my fighter, "You lost that round." To be honest,
you have to, right? Because you can't let them start thinking, okay, you know, the Raiders. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. He's been checked twice, maybe 3 times, but he already is in a leg health event, right? Whereas it seems like he's been able to land some good leg kicks to almost no avail. And I feel like the body kicks work that in a similar way sometimes. I don't know. We're not going to get into that. That's a discussion we can have later on. But a huge head kick there.
Twitter, we'll give you our opinion. Until then, we got a hell of a fight, big elbow, man. That elbow, he was huge, man. I almost knocked him out because his head health was so low and it's perfectly timed. Peter Yan made out of adamantium, or what did he call it earlier? The vibranium or whatever.
Vibranium, adamantium, either one. I mean, he's made out of a comic book metal.
Exactly, man. That's why you got to start digging to the body. You see Peter Yan's body's down a little bit, so maybe Warzby, there you go, dig a little, you know, left hook to the body, a couple kicks, mixing it up.
Nice dirty boxing in there to stop that takedown of Yan as well.
Ooh.
Right now, it looks like Warzby is starting to find that tempo, right? Starting to find the mythical groove, as it were, as we've mentioned a couple of times today.
He is, but he's taken a couple big shots on the chops, so he's got to remain calm. You know, remember, it's a 5-round fight. You're a little bit ahead on the health and stamina curve, so don't overcommit. But again, you got to have offense. If you start shutting down and being too defensive, you know, that is not what you want to do against Ginga Ninja, so it's really got to ride that line.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If you start just, you know, being too defensive, then you just turn into the puncher bag from Smash Bros. And I mean, that's not going to go well for anybody. So you got to be offensive and defensive at the same time. Obviously, it's so much easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Warzby's doing a good job of tiptoeing that line right now, I think.
He is. Methodical. Getting, oh, nice. You know, he's really
not afraid to mix it up.
Exactly. Big shot, man. Just as we were about to say, Warzby gets pieced up a bit. Ginga Ninja not going away by any means. Very dangerous.
Ginga's doing a great job of not letting this fight go too far one way or the other, right?
Yes.
Whenever it seems like Dillashaw's starting to get off to, you know, into that groove, into that rhythm, Ginga's able to throw just the right technique or just the right combination to either get a rock or just throw off his momentum just enough where he can start to make, you know, his own reads and his own counters. But that said, Warzby is doing a great job of countering the counters, you know, adjusting on the fly and just throwing a lot at Yan, so he can't really get a solid read on too much of anything. This is a good fight so far, bro.
This is a very fun fight. Very fun fight. Both guys very dangerous, still trying to implement their game. No grappling or takedown, much of that going on. Look at these stats. Dillashaw with more volume, more landing.
Yan tried some takedowns in that round. They just didn't quite find purchase. And that huge elbow did, on the other hand. That got the knockdown there in that round.
That was a very nice elbow. That's one where I thought maybe it'd go in, maybe not knock him out, but at least put him into kind of the ground and pound, finish the fight. But it didn't. I mean, it is Peter Yan. He's got that comic book character skeleton, so at least on his skull.
Yeah, for sure. He's got Wolverine skull.
Henry Cejudo's got the thickest skull of anybody in this game, I think, but I digress. All right, so we're back to this. We're back on the 3rd round. Again, main event of the night, #1 contender spot, and perhaps just as importantly, the glory of winning on ESFL and potentially, no guarantees, but potentially the winner moving on to the ESFL. So much on the line right now. Both guys being aggressive but not overcommitting. Big uppercut. Ooh, duck that spinning back fist. That could have been bad news, Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that spinning back fist had evil intentions written all over it, but a great job there by Warzby to move the head and get out of the way of that. And as we mentioned earlier, I am very interested to see, you know, what the call from above is after this card, who's going to be getting called up to the big show. You know, we've had a lot of fantastic performances, so I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be the one that has their hard work rewarded and gets that shot to fight the next level of competition. So
don't look at I was going to say, they shouldn't be looking too far ahead, though, because they got a hell of a match in front of them.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. I feel like either of them's about to get knocked out, but they're both so, you know, skilled and on such a nice reaction time right now. They're both staying alive just in time, man.
Yeah, one thing that I don't feel like has been lauded enough from, well, all of the competitors on today's card, the defense that has been on display has been incredible. I mean, if you look back through the entire card, if you were to look at fight stats, I don't think anybody is punching at over a 40% accuracy. And that just speaks to how well people are doing and getting out of the way of these shots, either blocking them, getting the head movement off, or just using their footwork to get out of the way. Even the guys who are taking a lot of damage. Oh my goodness. Wow, forget what I'm talking about. These guys are
it's over. Oh my gosh. She was being so slick, but all it took was that big knee. That rocked him. That knocked him silly. And guess what? He's not backing off. He's not looking for a takedown. He's going for the finish. Ginger Ninja gets that killer instinct in gear in that ground and pound. Man, that did so much damage that it was almost impossible for him to survive that ground and pound. I mean, his head of health was about 0 when he hit the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Ginger Ninja really just did a great job of putting the gas on whenever he needed to, and, you know, saw that opening for those huge strikes, took it, barged through it, busted it down, and then, you know, got the ground and pound there to finish it. Almost looks like he knocks Dillashaw over. But, I mean, very, very well done performance there from TMF Ginga, and you know he's going to be looking to keep that momentum going in pursuit of the title, which he should be fighting for next in Primetime FC. So
5-0 TMF Ginga. So he definitely fight for that title soon if he doesn't get called up. Of course, season 3 of the ESFL doesn't start till mid-August, so maybe he can still get his championship fight in before then. Not guaranteed that he's getting called up, but it's possible.
I was just about to say, I've gotten confirmation from the back. Do we want to give them this news now, or do we? How do we do this? Do we do it now, or do we wait a second? Do we let them know? Because I know.
Drum roll, please. Let them know. It's all you, Frank.
Okay, from what I've heard, the ESFL scouts have come to a decision, and for PlayStation, they select Savannah, who has changed his name to Dima, and he's going to the big show for his win over Cryptic. And from the Xbox side of things, fresh out of our main event, it's going to be Ginger Ninja, the newest member of the roster on the Xbox side of things. Huge congratulations to both of those competitors. Y'all have earned it. You have done a great job today on this primetime card, and I can't wait to see what y'all have coming for us in your first ESFL performance. But hey, celebrate. Go, you know, go tell your mom. Go, just find somebody on the street. Go give them a kiss on the cheek. Tell them you made it to the show. And then get back in the training room, because it's only going to get harder from here, guys. This is, you know, you're in the door now, but there's only killers in here. You're in the door, but you're in the salty spittoon. We need to see how tough you are. So we're going to see what they've got coming for us next time, Boiler.
Congrats, man. It's so cool to be able to add one to the Xbox and one to PlayStation. Well deserved. A lot of other great performances tonight. I know you guys didn't make it to the ESFL this go around, but as I said, keep grinding. Prime Time, one of those affiliate leagues of ours where we really are looking for talent at all times. Such great fights tonight. None of them were boring. They were all unique, all bangers. Even the decision was a hell of a decision, in my opinion. Tons of fun. Frank, I think we're going to get out of here, but did you have any other thoughts, any other, you know, shout outs to anybody else besides Ginga and Savannah, who did great work? You know, who else stood out to you tonight?
Who else stood out to me? I feel like Joshraee, you know, also stood out. I feel like he's probably one or two big performances away from possibly getting his own call up. And you know, anybody who didn't get the call up today, don't hang your heads, man. We can only pick two, and those two made themselves undeniable cases. So I apologize to everybody else, but that's just huge congratulations to those two. I mean, fantastic job there.
All in good fun. And don't worry, the ESFL is going to be here for the long haul. So keep grinding, keep putting in work. And thanks for all these fights, man. I know you guys and the people that organize this for Primetime, the staff, et cetera, put in a lot of work. So it's an honor to be able to call this. And thanks for putting so much effort into it and helping the community out.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt, no doubt. Big shout outs to everybody in the back, Charity on production, you know, just everybody who has helped us in any way, shape, or form get to this point. Thank you so much for all your hard work. We appreciate everything, guys. Stay hydrated, respect women, support the homies. That's all from me.
That's awesome, man. Great message. Great message. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow on the official UFC Twitch for round 2 of the summer series. Boiler salutes you. Frank, great job. Tons of fun. We'll see you guys later.
Yes, sir.